Alrighty. Let's give it a minute for people to join in. What's up, everyone joining in the stream right now? What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up, what's up? We're going to start getting people up here in a quick second for some debates. Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. As always, let me make sure to go over to the YouTube, get everything completely set up here real quick. What's up, everyone joining up on the YouTube and here on the TikTok? What's up, Courtney? What's up, Bia? How you doing? What's up, what's up? What's up, Akira? What's up, Nico? What's up, Vara? What's up, Taylor? How you doing? What's up, Laura? What's up, Danon? What's up, Kendrick? How you doing? What's up, Jocelyn? What's up, everyone joining in? Paul? What's up, CNT? What's awkward? What's up, Chase? What's good, everyone joining in? We're going to start getting debates up here for a quick second. Here very, very soon. We're actually not going to be on live for as long today. Today's going to be a shorter live, actually. Very sadly, but tomorrow I should be back with normal amount of debate stream. Normal amount of debate stream today. It should be actually like around 2 to 3 hours. It also depends on whenever Dean hops on. But what's up, everyone joining in though? What's up, Jordy? What's up, Matt? What's up, Isaac? What's up, Freddie? What's up, Dark? What's up, Nick? How you doing? What's up, Sheila? What's up, everyone joining in? What's up, Lita? How you doing? What's up, Rox? What's up, Iris? We're going to start getting people up here in a quick second. Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. We are just looking for debates, everybody. What's up, though? Everyone joining in. What's up? Alrighty, only do send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. We are just looking for debates, everybody. What's up? Parker, did you get a job yet? No, never did. Never will. Never get a good job, okay? I'm always staying unemployed. What can I say? Always going to be unemployed. Unemployed forever. What can I say? Yo, what's up, how old are you?
I'm actually a neo-libertarian philanthropist. So
Philanthropist? Wow, that's a new one. Yo, what's up, how old are you?
It's me again, Parker. My ass stinks, Parker.
Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. Let's go to the next person. Only do send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18, everybody. We are just looking for debates. Alrighty, do give it a quick second. Do only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. It takes a few minutes sometimes to get some debates up here. So do give it a quick second.
That'd be so funny. No cap.
we got
That would be so funny. That would just be like so unbelievably funny if like we did this.
Fuck Trump.
Only do send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. We are just looking for debates. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Support Trump? Oh, let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Hey, Parker, I just want to say I love your content. Bye.
Appreciate you very much. Appreciate you. We are looking for debates, everybody. Only do send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Fuck Trump and
only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. We are just looking for debates.
Parker.
It is Friday today, so it is Fetus Friday. You know, that's true. That's right. It came a little bit early yesterday, right? It came a little bit early. Like there was just like so many fetuses yesterday, and it could possibly happen again today. Only do send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. We are just looking for debates.
Finally. 22.
Do you support Trump?
Of course, bro.
Election out today. Harris versus Trump. Who would you rather vote for?
I'm voting for Brandon Gill in next year's election. He's the Republican congressman who has very very conservative ideas.
But do you support Trump?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And Vance too. I'm more of a Vance guy now, just because Vance, came from the military, blue collar upbringing, farmer, just every American trait you would like to have in a future president.
How is being a farmer relevant to being president?
Well, because he came from the blue collar, and he came from low dollar, and he came from just everything an American represents.
Okay, so then you would support Kamala Harris because she came from a middle class family, right?
I wouldn't really support Kamala Harris in the
Kamala?
sense
Well,
of
because
her.
Donald
Her
Trump didn't grow
past.
up in that type of family, but Kamala
I don't
Harris
like her
did.
controversy in her past.
But you don't say that about Trump, who literally was held
Uh,
civilly liable of sexually abusing a woman, who literally was
yeah, yeah,
convicted
yeah.
of 34
Okay.
felonies, who literally said he would date
Yeah.
a 10-year-old girl in 10 years, who admitted that he bragged into walking into the changing rooms of naked women while they're changing without their consent, where two 18-year-olds came
No,
out, said there were
he
four
said
girls as young
they
as
never
15
said
years
they
old
were
in these
naked
changing
though.
rooms, who had a 15-plus
Okay.
year with
Can we go
relationship with
topic by
Epstein.
topic, please?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can we go topic by topic? So the first topic you addressed was the sexual allegations or sexual misconduct,
hmm
right? So what's a civil liability? Can you explain a civil liability?
Yes, what do you want to be explained about it? Do you want
It's
the
a
difference in
two-party
standard of
settlement,
evidence between a
lack
criminal and
of
civil court?
evidence. Yeah, so it differs from a criminal conviction, where a
Of
criminal
course.
conviction is when a jury finds a reasonable evidence to convict
understand the
somebody,
difference.
while a civil liability is a two-party settlement that lacks evidence to hold
You're-
a conviction.
You don't know what. No, that's not what it is. So the difference between civil and criminal court is for criminal court, it's beyond a reasonable doubt for the standard of evidence, and for civil court, it's preponderance of evidence is the standard
So
of
it's when
evidence.
it's when a court when a court
Okay, can
when
I
two parties
explain
don't wanna-
further? Can I explain
no,
further?
you just explained. You just explained.
I
Let me
didn't fully
explain my
explain.
point. It's when
There's
it's
differences in punishments as well, specifically whether it relates to monetary versus whether it relates to like behind bars or criminal punishment.
civil is civil liability a criminal is that a criminal conviction? Can that go on your record being held civilly liable? That's probable
It won't
cause
show up on your
rather
criminal
than
record, but it is a
evidence.
civil
Exactly.
violation. Now let me ask
it
you
is
this question.
yeah.
Then do you not think it's a big issue when people overstate their visas because they're just violating civil law?
So I think when you overstay, that that's a law break, right? That you broke the law in that sense
Civil law.
of.
It's just civil law. Remember, it's not a big deal.
But did you? But
They
okay,
couldn't
so
take that
for-
shit to criminal, dude. It's not a big deal.
for improper entry. That is breaking
Yeah, it is.
code.
Dude, hold up.
AUSC.
They
So
can't
if
take
you're-
that shit
if
to
you're-
criminal. It's only a civil.
No,
Now
that
you
is
don't
a-
believe in
that is a-
civil, do you?
that is
Those
a
are bullshit
criminal
cases
law
in court.
to-
Those are
that is a-
bullshit courts, right?
Okay, so law 8 USC.
He
says
doesn't like it now,
improper
by the
entry.
way. You know, immediately that reasoning switches
No,
as soon as I bring it
So
up in this
you have-
context.
You have law 8 USC, which means improper entry. That means you did not come
Yeah,
across
that's
this country
unlawful
at a port
entry.
of
They
entry.
entered the country
So-
legally. They just overstayed their visa. So it's a violation of civil law, not criminal law, because they didn't
Okay, but
unlawfully enter the country.
Who's paying for their visa? It's American tax dollars. It's not the person
What?
who's here, who's getting all the benefits. So it's the American
People
taxpayer
on
who
visas
foots
don't
that
get
bill.
all the benefits. I don't know what you're talking about.
They get-
plus,
they get the-
also like people who are coming on visas, right? They help our economy, right? They actually grow
No,
our
no, they
GDP,
don't
our
actually. They can-
productivity, our tax revenue, and it actually helps fund systems. Did you know that over
You
the
think-
past
you
30
think
years?
importing-
Wait, hold up. I know you're crashing
yeah.
out. Over the past 30
Okay.
years, immigrants have decreased the deficit by $14.5 trillion, according to
Illegal
the Cato
labor.
Institute.
Labor. That's illegal labor. It takes from American.
Wait.
It
No, we're
literally
talking
takes
about
from American
immigration as a
jobs.
whole, and I would like to make a quicker legal immigration process because many of the people coming to the country undocumented are coming to the country undocumented because our current legal process takes a hell of a lot too long.
So what's so undocumented means illegal, right? You have no documentation being here. You are not in the status of getting a green card or for an example, a student visa, which I think student visas
You
have
can
been
be, and you can still be currently undocumented. But the point that we would
which
say
is illegal because you have no documentation. So how are they getting tax benefits if they have no identification? They foot that bill
Exactly.
like we've seen in Somalia, right? I mean, not
Wait,
Minnesota.
exactly.
We've
How
seen
are
it-
they getting
we've seen
benefits?
it
They're
in
not getting
Minnesota. We've
benefits.
seen-
They could be paying
seen-
into the system through tax ID, right? But
We've
they
seen those
can't.
child
They're an
care
ITIN
workers
number,
get in prison.
but they can't specifically be getting
do you
benefits
feel about
out of
that,
the
Parker?
system.
How do you feel about that illegal fraud in Minnesota that was just proven and they're facing 40 years
Can I
from
tell you
that Nick
something?
Shirley?
It's not because of Nick Shirley. You understand
It's
that like
because of
there's been
Nick Shirley.
investigations into
He is
fraud.
the GOAT.
What?
He is the GOAT.
That's so cringe. So there's
He
been
is the GOAT.
there's investigations into fraud all around the entire United States. There's people who are convicted and gone after for fraud across the entire United States. Actually, proportionally, fraud.
Unfortunately,
Let me please finish. Proportionally, fraud in Florida is multiple times more likely to occur per capita comparative to Minnesota. How do you feel about that?
I mean, they didn't. I mean, I don't see any reports seeing them embezzle $40 million of taxpayer funds, which have crippled Minnesotan taxpayers. But you
Minnesotians.
seem to
By the way,
turn a blind
they didn't pardon that.
eye to that.
Wait. Minnesota didn't pardon that one. And two, Donald Trump has pardoned fraudsters. Did you know that?
You seem to turn a blind eye against a Russian spy in China who was running for mayor. I forgot, Suzanne Ann or something, who was a really powerful Democrat mayor running for office, who was just found literally being a Chinese spy, which is what law is that? Treason, and that's why Trump said if you're found of treason, you can you can be hung. Treason is punishable by death.
Wait, who
That's
do you
what
think
Trump
committed
was
treason?
calling out. Oh, the Chinese spy. And Hunter Biden did too, because he had the Hunter Biden laptop.
How did
Russian interference.
What in the Hunter Biden laptop was treasonous?
Oh, the Russian interference.
What Russian interference in the Hunter Biden laptop?
So the FBI actually concluded that there was probable evidence in the Hunter Biden laptop to hold a. That's why he was in court, and Joe Biden pardoned him from jail on the tax fraud.
Joe Biden pardoned him for something completely irrelevant to the laptop.
It was pretty much pedophilia and tax evasion.
There's literally nothing was pedophilia. There's nothing in the Hunter Biden laptop that proved that. There was nothing in the criminal conviction that proved that. The specific violation of the law was literally a misfiling of a gun for a gun.
So yeah. So when Hunter Biden is on record saying I smoked crack with strippers,
now I have to kick you. Wait, do you have a second account?
Don't kick me. I'll just use.
I have to kick you because it's TikTok TOS. So you wasted your time. You could have told me what your second account was, but unfortunate. It's TikTok TOS. You can't use those terms. You got to say like C drug, F drug, those types of things. Otherwise, it will limit the push of the stream. You can come back on your second account, but you can't do that. Again, he just completely lied about what Hunter got pardoned about, by the way. Like, that was just completely made up. Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. We are just looking for debates, everybody. Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. Hey, Master, you can say what your second account is in the chat if you actually want to come back up and debate. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
19.
Do you support Trump?
Yes, sir.
If the election were held today, Harris versus Trump, who would you rather vote for?
Say that again. Sorry, I can't hear you.
Yeah, if the election were held today, Harris versus Trump, who would you rather vote for?
Trump.
Okay. And what was your birth year?
What?
What was your birth year?
Hold on, I can't hear you. It's lagging.
Okay. I give them a second, everyone. Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. We are just looking for debates. We're only going to be on live for around 2 hours, or 2 to 3 hours today, maximum. We've already been on for like 13 minutes or so. We'll only be on live until like 11 to 12 or so. It is a shorter stream today, just letting everyone know. Alrighty, well, I'll let them figure that out. Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. We are just looking for debates.
Okay, this is my second account.
All right, you can continue your point. Just remember, you can't say those things.
Yeah.
You gotta say, like M drug, C drug. What was the point you were trying to make?
So we Hunter Biden is on file saying, yeah, I smoked the C word, and
yeah, and Trump is on file pardoning the ex-president of Honduras that trafficked over 400 tons of C drug to our country and was convicted of it.
Okay, but that's totally different than your own son.
Totally different? How is that totally different? Personal use versus literally trafficking 400 tons to our country? I think that's a huge distinction.
The president of Honduras?
Yes, the ex-president of Honduras that was convicted of trafficking over 400 tons of sea drug to our country. So Donald Trump pardoned him. So which is worse? Pardoning which is worse? Which is worse? Pardoning Hunter Biden or pardoning the ex-president of Honduras that trafficked over 400 tons of sea drug to our country?
I would need that to be fact checked because I don't know.
Go ahead, look it up. Look it up right now. I'll give you time.
You can
take a look.
Okay, yeah.
I'm waiting. Give him a second, everybody. Give him a second. Give him a second to find that one. Kathy, thank you so much for the $50.
He
Thank you
served
very much. I really
45
appreciate it.
years,
Thank you.
buddy.
Happy
He served-
Friday. Thank you so much. I
He
really
served-
appreciate it. Thank
He
you.
served 45 years.
Hey,
dude.
it's a
If that's
pardon, not a commutation, sir.
He after serving 45 years, that is punishable enough.
Are we referencing the same person? I don't think we're referencing the same person.
I looked it up and he already served 45 years, buddy. So that is like that he served his sentence almost to the maximum, 45. You're not, and obviously it was some beneficial gain for our economy.
I don't think you're looking at the same person. They were literally
Hernandez
they were
serving-
convicted in 2024. You're thinking of the wrong
No,
person. Yeah, what are
Hernandez-
you talking about? He was sentenced to 45 years. Like what? What?
He was in jail,
It's
but
not that he was in jail for 45 years already.
No, it literally says
he
served
was
a
sentenced
45
to
year
45 years. He was convicted in 2024, bro.
Look it up. I'm reading.
Yes, I'm reading it right now. He
Wikipedia.
was convicted in 2024.
Hernandez had been serving a 45-year sentence in the U.S.
Yes, because
So
that's
he
how
did his
long the
time.
sir. That's how long the sentence will be, not how long he spent in the sentence, dude. Dude, wow, the comprehension skills are so great. They're so good. Come on, bro. You just misread it. Oh my god, dude. It is not that he's already been in prison for 45 years. It's that his charge would have had him in prison. His conviction would have had him in prison for the next 45 years. Because he just got convicted in 2024. Hello? You want to come back into the app?
Yeah, all I know it said he was serving a 45-year sentence.
Yes. Yeah, that doesn't mean that he served for 45 years. Look up, when was he convicted? Answer that question. What year was he convicted? You're saying he was convicted 45 years after he served time in jail for 45 years? What are you fucking talking about, bro? What are you talking about?
I don't know. It strengthened our allies with Honduras.
Okay, so you think it's justified to do that? No?
Not 100% justified, but in a sense of strengthening alliances, because obviously there was a reason
Wait,
behind
so I have
it.
a question. So how old is the ex-president of Honduras?
50 something.
57. So how's he been in prison for his entire life since he was 12? You're saying he did this when he was 12? What? Use your fucking brain. What are you talking about? You think he did this when he was 12? Holy shit, dude. That's crazy. I didn't know 12-year-olds could operate that type of a sophisticated operation. Jeez, bro. Dude. That's crazy, dude.
Well, I mean, it's not as bad as pardoning. We've seen many presidential pardons in the past.
Yeah, so
by
which was
all
worse,
sorts
Hunter
of left and
Biden or
right.
the ex-president of Honduras? Which was worse?
I think of election interference
Wait,
and
can I have a response to that? Which was a
prosecution could be
worse
worse.
pardon, Hunter Biden or the ex-president of Honduras?
Hunter Biden, of course, because obviously Hunter Biden showed no significance in U.S. economic
Wait,
stance.
pause, dude. Come on. Are you serious?
How
Are
is
you
how
wait,
is
hold
drug
on, pause.
trafficking worse
No,
than
no, no.
election
We're talking
interference?
about what's a
How is
worse
drug-
pardon, sir. We're talking about what's a worse pardon in terms of the impact that it has. Like you're saying that specifically,
It strengthened our-
wait.
it
You're saying a personal user has more of a negative impact on the country than specifically someone who's trafficked over, conspired to traffic 400 tons to our country.
Okay, so he conspired. So was
He
that
was convicted
proven?
of doing that. Yes.
But but you just said conspire. Conspiracy isn't that's not evidence to hold a 45-year conviction.
He was
In the South,
convicted. What do you mean it's not evidence?
Honduras is an ally because we need their energy and we need Taiwan. We need all of them to be in economic alliance with the United States. And obviously, if it's a conspiracy, which under the Biden administration, probable cause was probably not there. They probably just wanted a conviction to get this guy off the street, because now that guy is now the president of Honduras, and we've been strengthening our ally alliance with Honduras now.
Can you explain how this strengthens our allyship?
Because they have key geopolitical computer chips. They're one of the
How
biggest.
does this strengthen our allyship? Like, what did we get from that? You're saying we pardoned someone who literally trafficked 400 tons of sea drug to our country, right? And you're telling me that, oh, you're just going to completely overlook that. Wait, by the way, this was like an 18-year long scheme that funneled over 400 ton to our country, right? I just want to clarify. Like, this is a long scheme. And you're saying you think that's justified because you think that this is going to normalize relations for semiconductor chips, which, by the way, there's been no public evidence for. There's nothing you can point to where we've been able to get any greater deals for any of these computer
The main
chips.
reason it was an anti-communist. It was to have anti-communist party in
Wait, now it's not computer chips. Now it's what? Now it's ideology? Where are you at?
Ideology
You don't even know where you are, bro. You don't even know what you're arguing. You're figuring out what you're arguing on the spot. You just Googled your argument. You just realized your argument made no sense, so you said, Grok, please help me out. Please, please. Grok, I need your help, please. Grok, where are you at? Come on. I can't hear you when you're out of the app looking it up on AI.
The president who was serving was literally a dictator. So you can look up her name. Exmara Castro.
How is this relevant?
Replaced by do you want dictatorship?
What? How am I advocating for dictatorship now? What are you saying?
Because that's why we had to free this guy so he could get reelected in his country of Honduras. If he says he's not going to smuggle drugs into the country, which
did he get reelected?
Oh yeah.
When?
When I don't like I said, I don't know much about this topic. But I just
don't know much about this topic. You're learning it on the spot, and we should be listening to you, right?
We can do that.
This is totally the right person to listen to.
Google's free, dude.
Yeah.
You'll obviously,
I
if
can
you
tell
look it
you're
up,
using
you'll obviously see that we had reasons to do that.
I'm waiting. You're just like, you're finding your reasons on the spot. You didn't even have a basis for it. You now said the reasons are because we wanted to prevent a specific ideological framework from coming into office. Who's to say that there's no one else in the country that could have literally won that election against him?
It makes sense. It makes sense actually because Biden wanted to implement regime change, so he pushed this lady to extradite Hernandez to the United States on unfact drug charges.
He wanted to push regime change. You mean this person? This person was central to a criminal operation, was convicted of it, and now you're buying conspiracy bullshit that you've read from whatever MAGA or Trump supporter you can find on the internet.
Because the dictator was a far left dictator who wanted total libertarian communism in her country.
Libertarian communism. So a dictator that wanted total libertarian communism. Let's just clarify that. That's what he just said. Dude, you don't even know what the fuck you're saying. you're lost. You're as lost as everyone else is about what your view is in the first place. What the fuck are you saying? What? That's neo-libertarian flangism is your view, dude. Like, actually, in your own head, like, you're not even trolling.
In the political state of the world, I'm liking what the Department of Justice is doing today, locking up these Somalians, getting them out of our country because they're
so wait, why do you specifically just want to go after people who are Somali?
Because obviously they're here wreaking benefits. They take from our $1.7 trillion, as a net spend for housing illegal immigrants, making sure they're on food stamps, giving them
undocumented immigrants don't get any of these benefits. Those are for asylum seekers that are in the country legally.
Yeah, you know what an asylum seeker means?
And
that means they fled a country that was trying to get them, which means they could have been trying to get arrested.
What does that even mean? Repeat?
I mean, an asylum seeker is the literal definition is someone who's seeking asylum in the United States from foreign extradition. So they come here, they pop out some babies, and now they're say
legally in the country.
My baby is here. My baby is here legally.
I mean, they are.
No, that's true. I mean, that's.
But by the way, that's not what happens with most asylum seekers. Do you think so? Can you give me any evidence that
Birthright
most asylum
citizenship
Zeus? Thank you
could
for the
be
galaxy.
taken away.
Wait, and by the way, don't you want the birth rates to go up on your side of the aisle?
Birth rates. I
Yeah,
think
don't
we
you
have
want the birth
plenty
rates to
of-
go up?
I don't really
You don't
have
have an
anything
issue?
to say about the birth rate. You guys want to kill the birth rates with your
You wanna
late-term
kill- You want
abortions?
to kill the birth rates? No, we want people to choose when they want to have families. We don't want
Who's
people to be
paying for
forced
these
into
abortions?
families.
It's healthcare, and
What's-
that's
yeah,
why
it is
healthcare
healthcare.
premiums go up because people want to have 14 abortions after
No one. Wait,
doctors
who's had
say
14?
80.
Give me one scenario where someone's had 14 abortions.
Didn't you say your girlfriend had like 14 abortions or something
That
like
one
that?
that
I
was
saw a
Dean,
clip
and
of?
he was trolling. How the hell did you not realize he was trolling?
Dude, I know people who have abortions.
14.
For
Give me one source that even indicates a person has had 14 abortions.
In cases of rape, it's less. Our
Yeah, do you
words
know how
are-
expensive that would be? I just want to clarify. That's
cases-
incredibly expensive.
In cases of rape, it's 0.1% of cases of all abortions.
One, that's actually not true. And two, can you please address the question that I asked you? Right? Can you give me any evidence that someone has had 14 abortions? Give me literally one source.
Blue-haired.
Blue hair
nicotine.
means that they had 14 abortions. They had 14 abortions. I watched Nick Shirley, and he told me that people are having 14 abortions. Nick Shirley's the greatest source on the internet. I always believe
babies have
everything
the
I
right
see
to
from
life.
Nick Shirley. I believe everything. Nick Shirley, he says it, it's true.
But yeah, so that's that topic.
Do you want to respond to anything I've said? Like, actually,
What'd you say? What'd you say?
you don't remember anything in our conversation?
Not really, no.
What evidence do you have that someone has had 14 abortions? Like, can you give me a single source? Give me a single media source that even reports on one person having 14 abortions. Dude, I can't believe he cited Dean claiming that his girlfriend has had 400 abortions. Like, I can't even, bro. Oh my gosh, bro. Like, the actual thought process in this guy is unbelievably ridiculous. Jada, thank you so much for the 10.
A woman killed herself after having her partner forced her to have 14 abortions. So in cases you support that.
Wait.
Congratulations.
What do you mean
buddy.
you support that? Wait. Shocker. I don't support forcing people against their will to do something. That's why I'm pro-choice.
If it's legal,
so why
you
are you
can
bringing up
have-
a
if it's
scenario where
illegal-
someone was
if-
forced?
If it's illegal if it's mandatory illegal to have.
And
an
wait.
abortion, unless
What's the
cases
title? What's the title of the
R-word.
source? What's the title of the source, by the way? Because I want to read into this and genuinely, like, that's crazy.
The Sun-
because that's not
thesun.com.
a criticism of the pro-choice worldview. Because you're talking about someone being forced, right? We're saying people should have the choice to get access to access to an abortion, not to be forced to get an abortion.
I support that, but in cases
the galaxy.
of
Wait, you support the choice?
consensual sex?
Wait, you support the
Consensual
choice?
sex? I do. I'm personally pro-choice, but in my worldview, and to the
Then
point
what were you
of
complaining about
having
14
unlimited
abortions for? You're okay with that? Appreciate the galaxy.
No, I'm
You're-
not. I'm not okay in that extreme cause.
Appreciate the
I think-
galaxy.
I think
Well,
if it's
that didn't even
consensual-
happen. So that didn't even happen.
I literally gave
Yeah.
you a source, buddy.
Wait, that wasn't out of their own will, bro. That you just said that they were forced.
Yeah, but I mean, still.
So can you give me any actual scenario?
That was a scenario.
That's not a scenario. You're being ridiculous. And like also, like, he still hasn't provided the source. He hasn't said the title, by the way. He's just claiming it. He's just said it. I still have yet to hear this. What's the source, bruh? All right, give him a second, everyone. If you're on YouTube, again, hit that thumbs up. If you're on TikTok, tap that screen. Kaylee, thank you so much for the $2 for blue-haired woman here. Please tell him I have at least 21 abortions a week, 14 in a
Exactly.
lifetime is weak shit. Thank you so much, Kaylee. I really appreciate it.
See,
And
that's the vision.
you know, best luck to the 21 abortions a week. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. As well as Lexi, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Give some W's for them in the comment section right now. Yeah, it's so ridiculous, right? I can't even fathom that they would think that's actually the
Okay,
case.
I gotta get ready.
Thank you very
a
much. I really
baseball
appreciate
game
it. Quincy,
tonight.
thank you so much for the $2. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Buy 10, get your 11th free. Yes, that is at the local Planned Parenthood. You're totally right. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, Quincy. Tina, thank you so much for the $35.
I have
Thank you
a
very
source
much. I
for
really
it.
appreciate it. Thank you. I don't think he knows what that is. I think he has no clue. Caleb, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Some W's for them in the comment section right now. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it, Caleb. Sophie, thank you so much for the $5, of course. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. That's great. That's great to hear. Lois, thank you for the $10. Sunny, thank you for the $12. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Seriously, though, isn't that crazy? Anthony, thank you so much for the $10. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much. Must have been an accident. Lexi, thank you so much for the $1. And then B, thank you so much for the $2. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Oh, that's great. That's amazing for you. W's for them in the comment section. As well as Melissa, thank you so much for the $1. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. I'll have to make sure to try to check. And Justina, thank you so much for the $15. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Have a great time. Have a great time with the roller coasters. That'll be really fun. And Danny, thank you so much for the $1. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it as always. I think I'm fully caught up. Alrighty, you can go back to what you were saying.
What was I saying? A whole bunch of facts.
You mean a whole bunch of lies?
Facts and evidence.
I mean, you watch Nick Shirley, so of course you're gonna be saying a bunch of
Dude,
lies.
Nick Shirley literally exposed California fraud, election fraud, and
Does
all
Nick
of
Shirley
these
want to debate me?
fraudsters- Huh?
Would Nick Shirley debate me?
Nick Shirley would like cook you to an unextremable amount.
You think
That's
he
why
would
you don't
cook
do
me?
in
Really?
real life debates. And
I
that's
do.
why you
I do in
crashed
real
out
life
on the
debates.
goat
Have you
Kirk.
seen me on Jubilee?
Because Kirk had quorum, and you had some sort of irrational
I debated him in
ADHD.
person multiple times.
And he cooked you, dude. All the comments are
name
like,
one point he beat me
Parker
on.
got cooked.
Name one point he beat me on.
Literally abortion and
Name
all
one point about abortion.
Because you support immigrants coming over here, MS-13 gang members.
Wait. We didn't talk about immigration really. So what about abortion?
You just said, yeah, I think women should be able to get back alley abortions, and it should
That's
be
not what I
paid for
said.
by the tax dollars.
Not what I said at all. You didn't even watch, did
abortion
you?
is healthcare.
Actually,
Abortion is
what I
healthcare,
got.
guys.
Actually, what I did was I criticized Charlie's view specifically on why he thinks that like people who get abortions under his view should not have any sort of criminal punishment, yet he believes that they're murderers. So I was trying to criticize him to get him to believe he doesn't actually think it's murder. And then also I also criticized his view and said, oh, why do we think it's murder, right, for cellular life, but we don't think it's murder in the context of if a family who pulls the plug on an individual in their family that's brain dead? Well, it's because we don't just care about cellular life, we care about subjective experience, sentient life. So those are the conversations we had. We didn't even know what conversation we had about abortion.
Well, I don't know, dude. You got cooked in every debate you get on. You get cooked.
You just got
by
cooked.
intellectual
Charlie got
prophets.
cooked in the debate. Every single time we ever debated.
Don't even start.
There's not a
mentioning
single point
Charlie,
he ever
bro.
beat me on.
It will get wicked real fast up in this live debate.
Go
Got
ahead. I'm
cooked.
waiting.
You don't.
Wait,
you
you
don't,
said
you
I don't debate in
acknowledge-
person. Wait, hey bud, you said I don't debate in person. I've debated countless times in person. Reason why I don't
you
debate in
don't
person.
acknowledge the
I do.
Democrats' fraud and their
I
election
don't.
interference.
I do acknowledge.
don't-
Oh, there's not election interference. Wait, what election
You
interference?
don't. In California, you guys.
Wait, what
in
evidence do you have
30
of that? What's the
What
evidence?
state do you live? Yeah. 1 second, bud. 1 second. I'm explaining. This is why Charlie needed to sit you down and talk to you like a child, like one of his childs.
He
Okay,
wouldn't
ready?
sit down and talk to me long form
What
because he
state?
was
What
scared.
state do you live in?
I
What
live in
state do you live
California.
Okay, perfect. California is a state that requires no voter ID. Do you think you should have an ID to be able to vote in our election?
In order to register, do you have to provide identification?
Of course, but there's
Okay,
been
wait. So to
counts of-
clarify, pause.
There's been counts of election
Pause,
interference,
pause,
thousands
pause,
of cases
pause,
in the
pause,
past.
pause. If in order to register that you need to provide identification, then in order to vote you need to be registered, correct?
Yeah, but
Okay, so let's
you
just
don't need
clarify.
a-
Pause. Okay, so if
How do
you
you
need
register if you don't
identification to
have
register,
documentation?
and you need to register in order to vote, then you need identification in order to vote. That's just logic.
How do you have identification if you came to this country illegally? And you are literally a no name. We have
wouldn't.
people who are no names. That's why
They
ICE
aren't.
has
They
to.
literally. I'm sorry.
That's
you're,
why-
you're being lied to. You're buying propaganda. There are
Okay, well-
there are almost no cases of undocumented immigrants trying to vote over the past 40 years. There are literally less than I think it's less than 15 cases over the last 40 years. Okay, right? undocumented immigrants are not going to risk being deported to try to vote when they don't even have the capacity to do so, because they would just go up to the counter and not be able to provide that they've been registered, right? Like
Well,
they
that's
just
what-
wouldn't
that's
be able
what-
to do that. So like,
Okay,
how
that's
would they
what
even
Democrats are
attempt to do
pushing
that in the
for.
first place?
They're pushing for all these Afghan nationals for them to be their voters. You know, and it's a corrupt system that Trump is trying
You're
to
just
fix day
lying.
by day.
You've been lied to. You've been lied to.
I've been
Like, please,
promised
dude. Like, don't let that be the propaganda that convinces you
I
that
love how
Republicans are
I love
better.
how it's
Like, that's
propaganda.
unhinged, bro. You're
I
just
love how
living in
it's
a
pro- I
completely
love how
different
it's
world.
propaganda. It's crazy that it's propaganda.
Yeah, you've been
to
propagandized. You've been brainwashed. Yeah, totally.
You've been brainwashed, dude. You're
Name one
most
thing that I've been
brainwashed.
brainwashed on. I just explained how you
That
were
all
brainwashed.
immigrants contribute to society.
They do. I can give
Oh
you
my
evidence.
God, you're tripping. So Lakeland Riley, Jocelyn Narakwa, all these cases of these women getting brutally murdered by one who's not even supposed to be here. Yeah, all those cases just didn't happen. We have people. They get drivers. They get in a sanctuary city. They can be given a driver's license. They can literally be handed a driver's license, which we've seen in sanctuary cities like New York, like California. These undocumented immigrants, these Venezuelans driving their vehicles recklessly, driving on the other side of the road, killing U.S. American citizens. So when you see that almost on a daily basis now, 14 million undocumented people in this country, when they told all of us we had to forcefully get a shot to go to work and to pay bills, but they let them in unvaccinated, unregulated. They actually, in 2022, we saw a resurgence of COVID-19 because they just started bringing all these diseases across our border, making this country sicker because they don't have any health regulations down in Mexico or Honduras or Afghan. So
What?
that's just a little bit of.
Hey, you got another flag. Do you have another count?
Yeah, it's called Parker is a Dumbo.
Okay, well, make sure to join back, because I can just tell he's literally on the same wavelength as like Nick Shirley. Like, it's just like so brainless. It's like, it's so obvious. Like, dude, unbelievable. Does he not know undocumented immigrants are multiple times less likely to commit violent crime than American citizens, than natural-born U.S. citizens? So, like, we want to go after those that have committed violent and serious offenses. No one wants that within the country, and we can proportionally go after individuals like that to a greater extent if we stop focusing on individuals that have come to our country for a better life. Dude, it's that guy is so cringe, bro. He's such a Nick Shirley viewer. He sounds exactly like Nick Shirley. Like, they have the same sort of, like, I don't know how to explain it. Same sort of vibe. Literally, it's so bad. It's so bad. Give him a second, everybody. We're going to try to get this next person up here. Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. I'm assuming that they're not going to come back. I think that they just, like, said that because they don't have another account. So let's get on to this next individual. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Hello? Let's get this next person up here. Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. We are just looking for debates. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
What's up, Parker?
How old are you?
I'm 18.
Do you support Trump?
I'm 18. Yes.
What's your birth year?
I just talked to Dean yesterday. This is awesome. Oh, what'd you say? Sorry.
What's your birth year?
12/14/07.
Okay. Alrighty. Let me thank a few people, and then we can go into our conversation. Joe, thank you so much for the $6. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, he was so mad for no reason. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. Like, literally, absolutely nothing wrong. And, like, he's just trying to demonize and fearmonger. It was pretty crazy. Anna, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much, Anna. Heather, thank you for the $3. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Get some W's for Heather in the comment section right now. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Annie, thank you so much. I really appreciate the $5. Thank you. Thank you so much for him calling the entire state of California a sanctuary city. It's crazy to me. That was pretty funny. Joe, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, that is absolutely crazy, right? Elizabeth, thank you so much for the $10. Thank you. Did he call New York and California cities? Yes, he did. He did do that. He called them sanctuary cities. Yes, he did. Alrighty, we're going to go on. Give me 1 second. Let me make sure I'm completely caught up here. Vanessa, thank you so much for the $4. I've had 9 abortions this year. I'm going for my 10th to punch my coupon card. for a free one on Monday. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you. I appreciate it. Let's make sure to go over on YouTube Super Chat. Just give me one quick second, everyone. Give me one quick second. Let me make sure I'm completely caught up here on the YouTube stream. Jeez, the city of California, everybody. Look at this. The city of California. The city of New York. Actually, I guess you could say the city of New York because New York City is technically. But you can't say the city of California. That was a bit brutal. Jocelyn, thank you so much. I appreciate the $5. Thank you. Mr. Flinch, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much. Isaac, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you. Mr. Flinch, again, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, obviously, I think he's... this is that's in a different country, not even in the U.S. That Kira, thank you so much for the $1.50. Thank you very much. And Mr. Flinch, thank you so much for the $10. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Get some W's for them in the comment section. Thank you. I think I'm fully caught up. Alrighty. Why do you support Trump?
What's up, Parker? Hey, so I also want to talk to you and Dean at the same time because I talked to Dean already about this topic. Now he didn't know as much, so I want to see if you knew a lot about this. It's not a very social topic, but so the slaughtering of the Christians in Nigeria. I'm a Christian, and Trump, I guess he put a more. Sorry, why am I echoing? Am I echoing on your thing?
I don't hear.
Or am I still echoing for some? Okay, for some reason I'm echoing. Anyways, but he wanted to support the Nigerian Christians, and Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, and Obama pushed down the slaughter of Nigerian Christians after being asked for support. And I was just asking what your opinion on that was. I'm not a big Trump supporter, but that's the one thing I do support about him. I'm a right conservative, but I do want to ask what your opinion on that is.
I don't think that I've seen any evidence that specifically it's just targeting of Christians. I think Christians are being killed and attacked, along with other groups. I don't think there's been any evidence it's been just because they're Christian.
Well, there was a thing that I talked to some Muslims because there's a lot of Islamic groups, and when they were killing these Christians, obviously it's been going on for a little while, but I know no one's really kind of publicly came up
also,
about it.
Also, can I clarify? We don't
Yeah.
involve ourselves in every situation, right? There are plenty of things that are happening around the world that are morally atrocious that we don't involve ourselves in, right?
I mean, absolutely, but I think recognizing them and trying to look into it, I think would be better. I mean, Obama had the chance to do it and didn't.
Well, because what's the evidence?
Well, that he didn't. I mean, there's articles of him talking about it, neglecting it.
What's the evidence that it's specifically just targeting of Christians?
I mean, I don't know. It's just Christians, but they're in the majority group. It's 78% of Christians are getting slaughtered by the Islamic groups, and they're killing other people back down there in West Africa, compared to South Africa.
So they're killing Christians and also non-Christians.
Now the ones that are non-Christian, there's only been 5% recorded, but there's been 78% in West Africa that are being recorded. So I was I really want to know your opinion on that and what you thought about it, obviously you're in the left.
I think that I'm down to condemn anything that I would obviously define to be a genocide or to be morally atrocious. Of course I can. I have no issue with doing that. But I mean, I guess where are your priorities? Does Trump do this for all genocides?
Not necessarily, but I mean he did.
I don't think him recognizing a specific genocide would be the basis of you supporting him, right? Because he's definitely not the one to recognize them.
I mean, I'm not necessarily supporting him, but I do support that he recognizes it. I just wanted to know necessarily why I guess the left was neglecting it. I mean Dean didn't know much about it, so he told me that he wanted to find out some more sources about it. So I wanted to see a few things
that's what I would have to
do
as well. I have seen no evidence that it's specific targeting of Christians.
Okay. Well,
but I'm open to if you have any evidence, you can provide it. I'd be interested.
Yeah, I got some sources. I'd have to pull them up. But when are you and Dean gonna go live again together?
Maybe soon.
Dude, I'll have to be there. I gotta be there.
Why can't we just debate right now?
Oh yeah, I want to debate. But
so why do you
also
support
Dean
Trump?
here too? So why? I guess also with that topic too. I think he's done obviously taking out the illegal immigrants. Now I've had some people I know personally. I'm not gonna name names, but have had personal bad interactions with at job sites such as my brother, that the job site got taken over by illegals, and a lot of bad stuff happened over there. So he got screwed out of his job because of them.
Do you think legal immigration causes this negative economic impact?
I mean, economically, no.
Okay, so let me ask you this question. So then if we provide them a legal pathway to citizenship, wouldn't you say then the economic impact wouldn't be negative?
I mean, yes, if checks were required and background checks. I mean, I think
Yeah. So let's give them
no,
a pathway to
I don't know.
citizenship where they don't have to leave the country. They go through a vetting process. There's a background check within that. No problem with
I
that.
I agree. I mean, if is
Right.
that a thing you guys?
Then, bro, you disagree with Trump's immigration policy. That's actually like to the left of the Democratic Party.
Well, I honestly like I'm a conservative. I just haven't done more. That's why I'm talking to you because I know, obviously, you guys know a lot. So I figured I'd talk to you guys about it. But what type of policy did Biden hold any of that in his policy,
So
or what did he?
the specifically for undocumented immigrants, they wanted to still criminalize undocumented entry, prioritize going after those that have committed violent and serious offenses, and make the legal process go quicker. So I think their process of addressing this is honestly a preferable way of doing so. But if you agree with me, that means your position is closer to the Democrats.
I do agree with you on that sense. Yeah, I mean, if we could hold them, but like, what would they do though? Like, there's like so many of them. Where would they hold them at?
Well, what do you mean hold them at? Like you would say that they can give a pathway to citizenship while they stay in the country.
Yeah, so would they just
Exactly
like
how they're
still
in
live
the
their
country
normal
right
lives?
now, live their lives as they are, right? They just go through a vetting process because they're already in the country, right? We have to understand that that's going to be the case. And we know that if they go through a vetting process, then we know who they are, they've been vetted, and then we can establish their presence within this country long term.
Okay, okay.
It's better for them and it's better for us, right? So I actually think that's the most preferable option.
I mean, I would agree with that to some extent, just because like I do agree with getting them an easier way to access. I mean, I'm pretty sure the process was one of my friends that came over here. He had like it was like a 10-year process of getting him over here. But I mean, like letting them like live their normal lives if they're illegal and then staying here. But like, what if they just like don't follow up with that documentation and run away and try and do bad things? Like, what happens then?
Wait, say that one more time, sorry?
So like, say we do that, right? Say we have that process, right? Say they don't follow up with that documentation and stay in the country and then run around and do what some other people do and commit murders and stuff. Like, I think that is just like a big risk to other American lives.
You think that you think the mass amnesty would be a risk because people could commit crime? Immigrants
Well,
are
not
less
necessarily
likely to commit
that.
crime.
I mean, I'd agree with that to a certain extent. I mean, do you have like verifiable proof to show that?
Yes, there's a bibliography in my bio. I have countless sources, including pns.org, that indicate that undocumented immigrants and documented immigrants are less likely to commit violent crime, drug crime, property crime in the country compared to natural-born U.S. citizens.
Well, drug crime. Well, okay, what source do you have for drug crime? I really I don't know if I believe that. So that's the
Literally
same
just
source.
told you.
So
Yeah,
that's
that
the
is
same source for.
Yes, it goes over all three of those.
Okay, I guess before I come on here next time, I'll have to look at that. But I guess also too, my opinion. What is your opinion on? Obviously, I know you support abortion. You're pro-choice, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't obviously really debated abortion too much. What is your argument for pro-choice?
Well, I think that one, I'm pro sentience, so I don't think that it's murder prior to sentience, subjective experience, which happens around 20 through 24 weeks in the womb. And then I don't think that there should be any laws really to restrict, because I think that it's just going to restrict people in situations in which they need it, rather than restricting people from actually getting it in elective circumstances after that point, because really after viability, it's just an induction of labor, which doesn't lead to the death of the fetus. So there's really no good reasons or justifications for any sort of restrictions under my view. But if there's like a perfect restriction that you could put in place that would restrict in the perfect sense in all situations in which we're not exceptions, and provide in situations in which are exceptions in every case, well, then that'd be okay. But I don't see that to be reasonable.
Okay. Also, too, what was the last guy yapping about? I couldn't understand anything he was yapping about. I mean, he was just like kind of chirping. He's kind of all over the place. I don't even try to like hate on anybody, guys, but like I was like so lost. But I guess those are the questions I had for you.
I think he was lost too.
Yes, sir, man. But I appreciate you having me on here.
All right, appreciate you coming up.
All right,
Let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. We are just looking for debates. Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18, everyone. Let's get this next person up here. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
18.
Do you support Trump?
Yes, sir.
Election held today, Harris versus Trump. Who would you rather vote for?
Trump.
Okay, and what's your birth year?
2001,
Okay, and how old are you again?
24.
Okay, why do you support Trump?
One, I don't support abortion whatsoever. And I have a strong belief that they are human beings and they should deserve human rights.
Okay. And do you think human rights should be left up to this? Wait, you said 18, so you were lying. Okay. Alrighty, let's go to the next individual. Only do send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. We are just looking for debates, everybody. Yo, how old are you?
Oh no, what's up?
Yeah.
Hello?
How old are you?
I'm 32, brother.
Do you support Trump?
Yes.
I do.
110%.
What's your birth year?
Sorry?
What's your birth year?
1993.
Oh, for sure. If the election were held today, Harris versus Trump, who would you rather vote for?
Kamala Harris or Donald Trump?
Yeah.
Certainly Donald Trump.
Okay. And what state do you live in?
What's the what, sorry?
What state do you live in?
What state? Texas. The great state of Texas.
And what time is it?
And what, sorry?
What time is it?
It's 5:15.
5:15? Okay. Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. We are just looking for debates, everybody. You know what's how old are you?
21.
Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
If the election were held today, Harris versus Trump, who would you rather vote for?
Definitely Trump.
I can't hear you. Can you get closer to your microphone?
Okay, give me 1 sec. Can you hear me better now?
Yeah, I do. Okay. And how old are you?
Okay. 21.
Okay. And what's your birth year?
2004.
And what month?
August.
Okay. And you said you would vote for Trump if the election were held today versus Harris?
Yeah.
Okay. Why do you support Trump?
Well, it's kind of like how I was raised. So my mom is like a Republican and my dad is a neo-libertarian phalangist. So they're kind of just like, that's just how I was raised, and that's why.
Okay, let's go to the next person. Only do send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. We are just looking for debates, everyone. Only do send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. By the way, everyone, we're going to be in live for like another hour or two. Just letting everyone know. It's a shorter live today, just letting you know. Shorter live, not typical. I do apologize for it being a shorter live today. Yo, how old are you?
You look like a lesbian.
Do you support Trump? So, are you like homophobic? Is that what it is? Are you there? Hello? That's the best MAGA got. They're too scared to debate me. What can I say? Let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. And also, by the way, I take that as a compliment because that just means I have good style. That's literally all that means. That's all that means is I have good style. Thank you very much. I actually really appreciate that. Let's go to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. We are just looking for debates. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
What's up, man? I'm 30.
Do you support Trump?
Yeah.
If the election were held today, Harris versus Trump, who would you rather vote for?
Trump.
Okay, and what's your birth year?
1995.
Okay, why do you support Trump?
Just mainly because he's exposing the color, the true color of the government. You know.
He's exposing the government by doing what?
Just by being who he is, you know. The guy you see on the news, and kind of using his religion, you know, as a guiding light.
So you don't like Trump, and you think that he's just exposing our government because he's corrupt himself. Is that what it is?
Oh no, yeah, no. I mean, I like Trump, but yeah,
Oh.
he's doing what you said he's doing. Yes, sir.
So you like Trump.
Yeah.
So you don't think he's corrupt.
No, he is.
So you like that he's corrupt. You want your candidates that represent you to be corrupt?
No.
No?
But,
So then you
no,
don't like that.
But that's why. Right. But that's why I like Trump, because he's kind of.
Nonsense. Let's just go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. No one can make sense of what they just said at all. Absolutely not. That made no sense. That is MAGA logic right there. Let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. We are just looking for debates. Only do send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the $20. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm confused. I'm confused with the what the message is supposed to mean. Maybe I'm out of the loop. Yo, what's up? How old are you? How old are you? Okay, let's go to the next person. Only do send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. Alrighty, let's get this next person up here. Again, if you're on TikTok, tap that screen to help push it out to more people. If you're on YouTube, hit that thumbs up, everybody. We're going to be on live for another hour or two, just letting everyone know. A very short live for today, what can I say? Yo, what's up, how old are you?
Yo.
Do you support Trump?
Good boy.
Oh my gosh. Let's go to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. We are just looking for debates. Yo, what's up, how old are you?
How's it going? Yo.
Do you support Trump?
Yes, sir.
If the election were held today, Harris versus Trump, who would you rather vote for?
Say again?
If the election were held today, Harris versus Trump, who would you rather vote for?
Bro, I can't hear you.
If the election were held today, Harris versus Trump?
Trump,
Okay.
100%.
Alrighty, what's your birth year?
2008. I'm 18.
Okay. And what month were you born?
May
Okay. And what day?
28. Yesterday.
Okay. Why do you support Trump?
I like him. I like his persona. I like what he supports and advocates.
Okay. Like what?
One thing I do disagree though is Israel first. It's America first, not Israel. Trump is Benjamin Netanyahu's dog, as you can see on my profile picture.
Okay.
This
so
makes
then,
sense.
So then you don't support him.
No, I do.
So you support the dog of Benjamin Netanyahu.
Yeah.
You're trolling.
No.
Let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. We are just looking for debates. They're not sending their best. What can I say? Actually, that's very true, Tyler. Thank you for the $5. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 37.
Do you support Trump?
Yes.
Election held today, Harris versus Trump. Who would you rather vote for?
Oh, it's Trump. Hello.
Okay, you have a little bit of feedback. Is there a way you could fix that?
Yeah, give me 1 second.
For sure, for sure. Alrighty. I still hear it a little bit.
I don't know how to make that go away at this point. I don't know.
Maybe turn down your volume or turn off Bluetooth, or swipe out of the app and then swipe back in. We can, and if that doesn't fix it, we can always try you sending a guest request back. Oh, they just left. Okay, well.
Is that better?
Oh, we're back. You're back. You're back. Yeah, it sounds like it's better.
Okay, cool.
Alrighty. Why do you support Trump?
I support Trump because, first of all, his America First policies. I don't support the war in that we're in right now, but I do support staying in it now that we're in it. And I support Trump for what he's done for gay people in America and what he's done for me as a Californian who's also homosexual. I support the progress we've made under the Trump administration as gay people. I support everything basically, except for the war. To be honest, I don't support the war, but I do understand why we're there now, and we're already there. And I don't think that we should back down until we get what we want, which is no nuclear war.
Okay. So I think Trump's got them closer to a nuclear weapon because he pulled out of the JCPOA, which prevented them from going past 3.67% enrichment of uranium past 2030. So it would still be in effect, and we could renegotiate from that basis. And then also, you said what he's done for gay people. What has he done?
Well, in Trump's first administration, we had 5 cabinet positions, and we never had one before. We also had Richard Grenell, which was the acting head of intelligence. A gay man from Palm Springs being the brain of America was pretty cool to see. It was really awesome to see us in cabinet positions. We've never been there ever in history. And so that was awesome progress. Also, how
Okay.
he
So if I
doubled
could tell,
he
if I
doubled the
could
age
give
budget
you,
twice.
if I could give you a bunch of different people specifically within the Obama and Biden administration that were a part of the LGBTQ plus community, would you then concede?
No, I mean, I'm a gay man. I'm not trans. I'm not a lesbian. I'm not any of those things. But as a gay man,
What?
we never were in cabinet
You're
positions
not.
before.
What, dude? You understand that you just said people of the gay community. So
Gay men. Gay men.
so you only care about gay men.
No, I don't only care about
Which,
gay
by
men.
the
I
way,
care about
there are
everybody,
gay
but I'm
men
saying,
in here as
as
well.
my experience,
I
seeing
can give you
somebody
their
that I can
names.
relate to, seeing somebody that's like me up there in cabinet positions was really awesome to see. We've never had gay people have never been in cabinet positions
There
before.
have
Gay
been.
men.
There have been. Go to
Where?
victoryinstitute.org. LGBTQ plus appointments in the Obama Biden administration. Said to date, of the Obama Biden administration has appointed more than 250 openly LGBTQ plus professionals to full time and advisory positions in the executive branch.
Really, gay men.
Yeah, there are plenty of gay men in there as well. I've read their names. They have their names listed. I'm reading them right now.
We've never been in cabinet positions before, ever in history.
You're just wrong.
Before Trump's administration. No, it's not wrong.
You're just wrong. And also, you understand, there are countless individuals, even in the Biden administration as well, that were openly gay. Do you know who Pete Buttigieg is?
I do know who Pete Buttigieg is.
Okay. Do you agree that he was on the
He's
Biden
the only
admin?
person he's the only person that Biden put in position that was an LGBTQ, whatever the hell you call it.
I can get.
That
Wait,
was gay
please,
man,
please
but he
look at
was head of
the
he
site
was
I just
literally
gave
the
you.
head
There's
of
countless more
transportation.
examples. There's countless more
He was the head of
examples.
transportation. Like, was there an influx of gays riding buses? Like, what? How was that a good representation of gays?
What? I think Pete Buttigieg is definitely a great representation for any community that he's a part of. What? You don't know what you're talking
Except
about.
for the community that he was a part of and where he's from. They didn't like him where he's from when he was the mayor.
He literally got elected with like overwhelming support. You know that, right? Didn't he get like 70-80% of the vote in the area? He got like some absurdly high number of support. Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Yeah. Also, I'm from the Midwest as well. There's a lot of people in the
It
Midwest that
shows.
like Pete. Oh, he just left. Okay. Like I would say the Midwest is probably like Pete's hotbed of support. Like that's like where Pete is going to have like some of the most support. Like he won the Iowa primary technically, right? Or it was like him and Bernie tied, like around that same level. So it's like, I mean, he was like really popular in the Midwest, and even in 2020, right? Let's go to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. We are just looking for debates. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Yo. I'm 26.
Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
If the election were held today, Harris versus Trump, who would you rather vote for?
Definitely Trump.
And what's your birth year?
1999.
Okay, and why do you support Trump?
Because he gave everyone universal health care, so I really support that. I have a disability, so I need that.
Everybody got universal health care? Really?
Mm-hmm.
When that happened?
I think it was the Big Beautiful Bill.
The Big Beautiful Bill gave everyone universal health care? Like, so I have health care by the government?
You should.
I should, and same thing with everyone else in the chat?
I mean, I haven't paid.
Let's just go to the next person. Jeez, bro. Jeez. Let's go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. We have concepts of healthcare. That's what we have. That's what we have. We have concepts of healthcare policy. Yosef, how old are you?
25.
Do you support Trump?
Yep.
Election held today. Harris versus Trump. Who would you rather vote for?
Trump.
And what's your birth year?
2000.
Okay, in what month?
July.
Okay, why do you support Trump?
Mainly the pro-life stuff.
Okay. Why?
Probably the biggest reason.
Okay, what about the pro-life stuff?
I think he's better for the pro-life movement, what with the Roe v. Wade and stuff like that.
Okay, so your goal with supporting Trump is to save as many human lives as possible, right?
Sorry?
Your goal with supporting Trump is to save as many human lives as possible, right?
Not necessarily. It would just be like, this is an important issue, so he represents it a little bit better than Harris, right?
And why is that? You think leaving it up to the states is preferable? You think human rights should be left up to the states?
Yeah, when I wouldn't really consider it a human right. I
Really?
guess maybe that would
Regardless of what side you look at it, it's a human right. Whether you are pro-choice and it's the right to bodily autonomy, or whether you're pro-life and it's the right to life. Either way, under your view, you'd have to be saying that you think it's justified to leave human rights up to the states.
Sure, I mean, don't we do that already?
Well, I would argue that's not justified, to leave human rights up to the states.
I mean, our right to not be unalived is left up to the states, right? You would agree with that?
I think that there's federal enforcement specifically of that within the context of the law for murder.
Right. I guess for me, I don't see how this would be any different.
Right? Like if a certain country wanted to make murder illegal, we wouldn't let them.
Right, but I don't see the distinction between that and abortion, is what I'm saying.
Okay, so if you don't see the distinction, then you would say it's totally okay if a certain country, like in the South, wanted to make it legal during the Jim Crow time to slaughter black people and lynch black people.
How'd that fall?
I'm just asking because like you think that murder, under your view, should be left up to the states, right? So do you think that they should be able to make a law that allows for them to murder people?
No, I think the opposite should be true.
So you think that there should be federal enforcement, that there should be, you don't have the right to murder anyone in any state?
Yeah, I don't think that's too controversial, do you?
I would say that, yeah, there should be federal, but what you're arguing for right now here with Donald Trump is that it should be left up to the states. That's what you're saying is preferable.
Preferable to abortion being allowed, just simpliciter, yeah. I'm saying it's not preferable that, some states allow it and some states don't, but it's certainly better than it being allowed nationwide.
How? Is it because it's gonna reduce the level of abortions that occur?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so how come abortions have increased since Roe versus Wade is overturned?
Probably people doing like back alley abortions would be my guess.
Okay, so it hasn't prevented abortions from happening, is what you're saying? It's led to more abortions happening? So then if it's led to more abortions happening and it hasn't prevented abortions from happening, then why would you argue that we should overturn Roe versus Wade because it's going to reduce the amount of abortions that happens? That seems like it didn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we should find a way to, clamp down on the abortions that are happening in the illegal states or in the legal states.
And how would you do that? Would you, investigate people's miscarriages?
I don't know why that would be necessary.
Okay, so then what would you do to quote-unquote clamp down?
I don't know, I guess it would be more of a pragmatic thing. Can I ask you why you're pro-choice?
Can you respond before?
Sure. I'm not
Pragmatic thing
sure.
is very vague.
Yeah, I'm not sure how exactly we would tackle this, like case by case in a pragmatic issue. I'm
Yeah, so
guessing,
how are you
like,
saying that we should address this to a greater extent? Is there any examples?
examples of how we should address it
Yeah.
pragmatically.
Yeah.
Mm, to be honest, I usually only speak about the normative aspect of it, so I haven't put much thought into
Yeah,
how
this is
stuff like this
normative
should
judicial.
be implemented throughout a pragmatic sense. Um, so I guess as of right now, I don't have a sufficient answer of how this should be dealt with accordingly.
Okay, well, you can reduce abortions by increasing access to contraceptives, increasing access to childcare, universal health care. Um, Specifically, you can reduce it by increasing access to comprehensive sex education. Those are things you could actually meaningfully do to reduce the amount of abortions that happen, right?
Sure, I wouldn't be against any of this.
Yeah, those are actual ways you can do so. Not restricting people from getting access to abortion. It's just inevitably going to lead to people getting abortions in less safe ways, rather than actually limiting the amount of abortions that happens.
Mm.
And also, like, you're not
Okay.
saving more lives by supporting Trump. He through Doge just cut USAID, which would lead to 14 million people dying by 2030 that would have otherwise not died if Democrats stayed in office and continued this funding.
Okay, I'll look into the Doge stuff. Um, I could be misinformed on that specific aspect, so. But you said you were going to answer my question initially, so I'm curious, like, why you're pro-choice? Like, what would be your argument as to why, like, I'm in the wrong and, like, why my ideology is, like, flawed?
Well, I was giving you, those are two separate questions. An internal criticism would be why your position is flawed. A description
Mm.
of my view is not necessarily a criticism of yours. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Okay, I
I
can now let me
understand.
describe my view. My view is that I'm
Sure.
pro-choice. All right, I'm pro-sentient, so I don't think it's a person until the point in which it has a subjective experience. Past or present and future subjective experience is the standard that I would outline. A conjunction of those traits,
Okay.
and that's when I see it is granted to be a person. So prior to that point, there's no reason to restrict access to abortion at all. And then after that point, I think that there's no reason to restrict because it's inevitably just going to prevent people from getting it in situations of exceptions and need, rather than actually preventing them from getting it in situations in which, like, they're going to get an elective abortion after sentience, for example. Because after viability, it's just going to be like an induction of labor that doesn't lead to the death of the fetus anyway.
Okay, and
So Roe versus Wade was good policy.
okay, so when you say that sentience is necessary for personhood, is this in relation to moral value in of itself? Like, do you see anything wrong with taking the life of a zygote?
Nope, nothing.
Would you say the same thing about like a comatose newborn?
You mean one that's already had a subjective experience and then becomes comatose?
No, I guess maybe we can just say that it's been comatose from the time of like
So stillborn?
gestation. What, can you remind me what a stillborn is?
Like
Is it just
you're just telling me like something that is brain dead upon birth, for example, like a baby that's brain dead upon birth.
Oh, well, no, brain dead would imply that it's never going to wake up. We can just stipulate that it was in a coma
So you're talking about
throughout
someone. So
gestation and it's
coma
going to wake
implies that
up.
you've had an experience. That experience stops, and it is going to continue, or can continue. That's what comatose means. So, like, is that what you mean? Or are you saying that, like, it's just a newborn out of the womb, but doesn't have a subjective experience?
Yeah, like I'm just curious if it hasn't had a subjective experience as of yet, but it's like outside of the womb, would you still say that it would be okay to take its life? Because I'm just like from my perspective, it would seem that this would be no different to a zygote.
Well, the differences would be like the way that it looks, like the relation that we have with it specifically, and also the fact that it's, I mean, or at least in terms of like from a typical pregnancy, where you don't rely upon your services or your resources in order to maintain its life.
Okay, sure,
So like what I
but
would
I
say that
think.
you could say that it could have value, but
Mm,
that's a separate standard of value from the subjective experience standard that establishes personhood. It wouldn't be established personhood, but you could establish some value where you would say like you just shouldn't kill it for no reason. At that
okay,
point, does that make sense?
okay, I guess, yeah, it makes sense. I guess just because earlier I said, would you see anything wrong with killing a zygote?
Hmm.
And you said no, and you didn't really mention anything about bodily autonomy concerns. So
Yeah,
I would
because the
just,
zygote's outside of the womb.
so if the zygote was outside of the womb and someone unalived it, would you see anything wrong with that?
No, not at all.
Okay, and you would say the same thing in the comatose baby, or would the only symmetry breaker be that it looks like us?
That's the only symmetry breaker, yes.
Okay, I mean, maybe you can
And
explain
maybe
to
even
me.
proximity to sentience. You could provide as another one, maybe.
So that it, so you're saying that because it's going to gain sentience, then it would
Very
be
soon.
immoral?
Yeah, I mean that could have some notion of value, or at least something that you would look at it in this scenario, alongside what I mentioned.
Okay, I mean, I guess I'm kind of curious, like, why the fact that it looks like a human would carry any moral weight. Like, I'm sure you wouldn't say that, um, like a doll that looked like us would have any moral weight, correct?
Sure.
So what would be the distinction?
Well, I think that a doll is not going to have as similar of human properties. And also, like, I do think that even so, like, a body in of itself, like, for example, even a dead human, we're going to treat with value, right? Because they were a person, because the fact that they have a human type
Wait,
body, and it would be
wait,
wrong to do things to do a dead body, right? Like, you can't
right,
just, like,
but
go up to
the
dead bodies and just
comatose,
start, like, cutting up dead bodies for no reason. That'd be fucked up. That's
right, but
someone's
this
family
would
member.
be disanalogous to kind of what you're saying, because you're saying that in the dead person case, this was previously a person, but in the comatose newborn case, to your own admission, it wouldn't be a person yet because it hasn't had any sort of subjective
No, the
experience.
notion is that you can't just do whatever you want to human remains, right? It's only in like hyper specific context. Like so, like for example, like we can get abortions because it's to maintain other rights. It's not just like we're literally just destroying it for no reason. And then also like I think that the way that we're going to view again a human body is different than we're going to value like a single cell at conception, right? That has none of those particular human traits or characteristics. Obviously, if I see traits or characteristics that are more similar to humans, there's going to be some notion of relation that I have to those characteristics that I could have some notion of value for, right? But none of those are present at conception.
Sure, I would agree that it doesn't share like any anthropomorphic traits at the time of conception. I guess for me, this wouldn't make a huge distinction because of the thing I brought up earlier that,
If it doesn't make a
other
huge
things
distinction to you,
can
that's all you.
look
But
like
I'm just saying
humans.
from my standard that it does. And you can't just say, oh, I don't understand why you hold that view. Okay, I could say the same thing for your perspective. I don't understand why you value a zygote.
Right, but I guess from my perspective,
Like, for
like
example,
anything can have anthropomorphic traits and it wouldn't have moral value, right?
let me
Like
ask you
we
this
can look
question.
at like a bunch of different things.
A newborn,
Okay.
a brain dead newborn, would you consider that valuable? Like, to
No,
be a person?
no.
No? Um, so you wouldn't
Well,
find
it's
that
dead
valuable,
at
but
that
you would
point,
find
right?
something that is completely identical to it, but just has the capacity for a subjective experience later on. You wouldn't find that. You would find that one valuable, but you wouldn't find the one valuable that's almost logically identical to it, except for that one trait.
How would it be logically identical to it? Can you
Yeah, because the
explain
only
how?
distinction between them, right, specifically are the what's it called? Whether or not they're going to become a subjective experience in the future. So in the current moment, they are the same.
What do you think being brain dead is? Because when you're brain dead, you're just dead, simpliciter.
Yeah,
So
I
maybe there's
understand.
some.
Well, then under that notion,
So
by the way, you're not alive until subjective experience begins.
how would that
Yeah,
follow?
yeah. Because what are you saying is you're saying brain death is death, right? How could you be alive without a brain if brain death is death?
Is this
You can't
a
answer that
serious
question.
question?
Yeah, it's a genuinely serious question. Yes.
I mean,
If the basis of death is the fact that their brain is dead, if they don't have a brain, how could they be alive?
are they not alive before getting a brain in gestation?
The cellular life, but not sentient life. So the notion of life that you're referencing when you reference brain death is sentient life. Okay, so if your notion of life that you're referencing is sentient life, you can't say it has sentient life prior to subjective experience. That makes no sense. That's incoherent. So if you're using
No,
the
I'm not
notion of
saying
life
it's
that you say
sentient
that life is based upon subjective experience, well then you should say that same thing that it doesn't happen until 20 through 24 weeks.
I think the thing that I'm saying is that, like, whether you're alive or not isn't predicated on subjective experience. Like, someone who's brain dead, they're not dead in virtue of not being able to have experiences. They're dead in virtue of their brain not functioning. Like, the brain is responsible for being able to, like, breathe. So I feel like that would
All
be.
nonsense, random statements that you're not responding to my point. So the point was, if you consider brain death death, then you can't say it's life until brain life. Not complicated.
Again, like, for someone to be brain dead, that just means they're dead, generally speaking, right? Like, they don't fit the 7 characteristics of life,
But
at
they're
least in
still
my
cellularly
understanding.
speaking alive.
Are they?
Yes. You didn't know this?
Okay. I mean, in what sense are they alive? Like, what do you mean by
Cellular.
that?
I just told you.
Cellular, so what would that entail?
You don't know what cellular life entails.
Like,
they
does
can
that
they can
just
still have a
mean
heartbeat. They have blood flow. They're being kept alive by life support. Their cellular life. In the same way that there's a cellular life of a. Can you tell me what cellular life of a zygote is? What is the life in that sense? Can you explain that?
guess it would just be biological, no?
Do you need to explain it a little more than that? Because you asked me for more of an explanation than that. So what's your explanation?
The cells are alive.
Yeah, that's just repeating the statement, not actually explaining what that means.
Okay. I mean, I guess I don't have a sufficient answer. I guess,
Yeah, so like what were you asking for?
well, I guess my understanding of someone who's brain dead is that they're just dead in of itself, like
Yes,
they're not
that's the
going
point where we say that they're
to.
medically dead. But that notion of
Right.
death means that it's not alive until subjective experience begins. And you're not understanding it. That's literally what it means. If you use that understanding of life, that means it doesn't begin until subjective experience begins, which is around 20 through 24 weeks in the womb. Then you think abortion is okay prior to that point?
No.
No?
It's just like a comatose
But they're not living.
newborn.
Under your view, they're not living. There's no medical life.
No, they are living.
Oh, but they're not. Under your view, there's no medical life.
Yeah, so maybe I can try and clarify, because there
Go
seems to
ahead.
be a little bit of confusion.
Mm-hmm. Do you think
You
that's
can
because of me
be
or you?
alive before sentience. This is just empirically true. And in the cases
Cellular life, not
of,
sentient life. In this notion of medical life that you just used, you can't be alive prior to subjective experience. That's nonsense. You have to be clear with what notion of life that you're using. You're equivocating and you keep going back and forth on what notion of life you're referencing because it doesn't fit your narrative if you acknowledge these different notions of life.
No, like I would agree that, like say an embryo, for example, has not had any mental life, right? Similarly, not similarly, like, and we can say that a brain dead person will never have any sort of mental life again, right? I think the distinction is that the embryo will have a mental life, and then the brain dead person will not. So I guess in terms of maybe a distinction of harm, you know, the
Okay, if there was a zygote that will gain a subjective experience in 200 years, would you say it's a person?
if there was a zygote that was going to gain a subjective experience in 200 years, would I say it's a person?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or actually, a zygote? No, I wouldn't say a zygote.
Why not? But it meets your criteria of cellular life and future subjective experience. It will be a person in the future. Although it's 200 years from now, it still will be a person in the future.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we're numerically identical to zygotes. So I would just say like an embryo, if it's going to
Wait,
have
what is
subjective
personhood?
personhood?
Yeah, when is that defined? Like, at what point does personhood begin? Because I'm not
feel like
numerically identical to you.
Right, obviously not, but you're numerically identical to your zygotic self, right? Or not your zygotic self,
I'm not.
like your embryonic stage, right?
No.
How do you figure?
I have different traits now than I had then. When
So
you're
what do you
saying
think
when you
numeric
say
identity refers to?
okay, wait. So when you're saying numeric identity, are you just saying my existence, like the fact that I'm one person? Because numeric identity,
Yeah.
from that sense, just we would be the same. We both have the same numeric identity because we're both one individual. If that's what
Right,
you mean
you're
by numeric identity.
numerically, yeah, one and the same individual.
Well,
So
we're each
you're
one identical.
numeric.
So what's the point of referencing numerical identity if it's literally, by the way, just a fucking more complicated way of saying we're each individuals? That's it. Like, you're just trying to be extra. Numeric identity. Like, Saki is so fucking cringe, bro.
Is
How
it? I
embarrassing, bro.
mean,
You literally, all you meant
how's
was
it
that we're different
embarrassing?
individuals, and you have to try to say it in some elaborate way. It's so embarrassing. Are you trying to sound smart?
Yeah, I am. I
I
mean,
can
I'm
tell,
sorry,
dude. It's
you
a little
you
bit
argue
embarrassing.
personhood, but you're not familiar with this term.
No, I'm familiar with the term. I just have
Okay,
to. I
so
have to
what
be.
do you think makes
I
us
just have to know
numerically
how you're using
identical?
it. I just have to know how you're using the term. Do
There's
you
only
understand that how
really
we can all
one
have different
standard
usages of
way.
terms?
Right, I'm just using in the standard definition. But can I ask you a question out of
What's
curiosity?
the standard definition?
That something's one and the same thing over time.
One and the same thing. So
Yeah.
all you're saying is that, like, they have the same DNA?
No, no.
Then what are you saying is the same?
The organism.
The organism. What about the organism?
It's numerically the same over a period of time.
Yeah, but, like, can you clarify what that means? You just repeated the statement.
Okay, sure. So with the embryo, right? Eventually that becomes a newborn, and throughout that process, there's one embryo and then there's one newborn. So there's one and the same being, right?
So it's the
Because
same
it doesn't
person.
become, yeah, because it doesn't become two people at the same time.
Okay, so when I ask you what personhood is, you can't tell me personhood is when there's one person. Individuality. You can't say
What?
personhood is defined by personhood. Because the
I'm
original question was,
saying,
what defines personhood? That was the original question. Do you remember?
yeah, and what was my answer?
Your answer now is simply you were trying to say that we have the same numerical identity. I asked you what's that numerical identity. You say, oh, it's the same person. Okay, so I'm asking you, what is personhood? When is it defined?
Yeah, I would say personhood is relating to what makes us the same thing over time, and this would
What
be
makes us
in
the same
relation
thing over time?
to
That is, what the
the
fuck is this
being
nonsense?
at the time of implantation.
What makes us the same? Like what that made that's
Yeah, what
literally that's
persists
a
over
vague
time.
definition. That's not actually you're when I'm asking you what is the characteristics that says this, you're saying, "Oh, there is some characteristic." Is your way of explaining it.
When I refer to personhood, I'm referring to what makes us the same thing over a duration
Yeah,
of
what is
time.
that? What is that thing that makes us the same?
Yeah, I would just say the fact that we're human animals.
Okay, so now we all have the same numeric identity because we're all human animals. What are you saying?
Are you are you just not
You're saying we're all
familiar
the
with
same
the
person because
concepts
we're
I'm
human
employing?
animals? Like, what?
No, I'm saying that who we are is human animals, and then we are numerically identical in virtue of being different organisms from one another.
You're just saying a whole lot of nonsense. I'm asking you what
Where's the
defines
confusion?
how about this? When does personhood begin?
Implantation.
What? Implantation, not conception?
No.
So 1 second prior to implantation, you're saying it's not valuable. 1 second after implantation, it is valuable. What's the difference between the organisms?
The
Location?
numeric identity.
Location. It's not about numeric. You won't be able to provide me anything about it that makes it a different in terms of its quote unquote numeric identity. That's so nonsense, right? The only difference is location. I'm serious. The only difference between the zygote prior to implantation and after implantation is where it's located. Provide me a different symmetry breaker.
Yeah, the zygote can split off into twins, so this would kind of undermine the fact that we
And there
would
can
be
be a miscarriage?
numerically identical to
And
the
it can split
entity
off at
at
twins at what point?
conception.
At conception, not at implantation, genius.
What?
So
Yeah,
what
I'm
about
saying
implantation makes it valuable?
Sorry, I just explained why. Where's the confusion?
You actually referenced there can be a split at conception, not a
No,
split at
split
implantation.
after conception.
At implantation?
No, before implantation, after conception.
Okay. And
Yeah.
can you tell me at what point of the process that happens? Because you said it was valuable at implantation. If it happens
Yes.
prior to implantation, then it can't be implantation that makes it valuable.
What? If it happens
Yeah, dude,
before
he's so lost.
implantation.
He's so lost, bro.
Are you lost? Like, are
you
you
are.
confused on the question you're asking me?
I'm asking you what about implantation causes it to be valuable, and you're saying some process prior to implantation?
No, I'm saying that there's processes that happen before implantation.
Yeah.
in
So what
which
about
we would not be
implantation makes it
numerically
valuable, sir?
identical. Because after that point, it would seem that we're numerically identical to the organism.
Okay, what is numeric identity to you again? We're gonna go over that again.
Yeah, it's being one and the same person.
One and the same is
One and
so
the same thing.
so you don't think a zygote is the one and the same prior to implantation versus after implantation?
Yeah. I think it goes through ontic changes.
Like what ontological change does it go through?
I guess an example would be the twinning.
The
Like what I said
twinning?
earlier, the monozygotic twinning, yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't happen at implantation, dude.
No, that's why I'm saying it happens before implantation.
So I'm asking you what about implantation makes it valuable, and you keep repeating, "Oh, there can be twins." What? That's not even relevant to the question I'm asking you, sir.
I'm saying before implantation, we have the ability to split off into two separate beings, right? That's
Wow,
what
thank you for letting me
monozygotic
know this
twinning
over and over
is.
again. I don't see how that's any relevant to why value starts at implantation.
Because that's when a person begins.
Yeah, and I'm asking you why. Like, what about the process of implantation makes it more valuable? And because the only difference in terms of a symmetry breaker, is literally location. That's it. 1 second prior and 1 second after. Only difference is location.
Okay, I mean, I gave you the difference, right?
If in your own head, maybe.
Can you, oh, so you forget what the difference was?
I think I went over how it wasn't a meaningful distinction in relation to what
Okay,
you're
how
saying
is
is
it,
granting it value.
how is it not a meaningful distinction?
You're bringing up the fact that you can have twins. How is that relevant to why value begins at implantation?
Yeah,
Because that you
because,
can have twins happens at conception.
right, so, okay. So, between conception and implantation, there are processes in which the zygote might not be numerically identical to us. And then after
How so?
implantation, this is
Like
not
in
the
what
case.
characteristic?
Yeah, and the fact that it can split off into two different or three different entities, so it wouldn't be numerically identical in
Okay,
that
so you're
sense,
saying
right?
it can split. Therefore, it's not numerically identical to us.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, can you be split?
No.
And by split, you're not saying like physically, like just a part of their body. You're saying into a different person.
Exactly. So I don't think persons have this capability, so it would seem that implantation would be when a person comes about.
But the splitting, you're saying the splitting, right, is only something that can happen. Wait, so actually, hold up. Are you saying implantation is when the splitting can't happen, therefore it's an individual person at that point? But splitting
Yeah.
happens at conception. So I'm
It
really
can
not understanding
happen.
the
No, it can
how that
happen after
follows.
conception.
Hmm?
Well, even if it happened at conception, it would still follow that we wouldn't be the same individual from the time of conception, but
No, but
this can happen
you're
after
misunderstanding the question
conception.
I'm asking you. The question I'm
Okay.
asking you is what is the difference 1 second prior to implantation and 1 second after implantation? That means that it's valuable in one sense, but not in the other. And you can't bring up something that's relative to conception or happens prior to the point of 1 second before implantation. Because if it's not value 1 second before implantation, that means anything that you're bringing up wasn't relevant to actually increasing its value.
Okay, well now I'm a little lost and I
Okay, I think
need
you
a
might be
little
too
bit
dumb
of
to have this conversation. I'm going to the next person. I don't think what I was saying was very complicated. We're stuck on that topic, and that guy is not smart, so I'm just going to go to the next person. Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. We are just looking for debates. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Yo, I'm 20, like, yeah, 20.
Do you support
I was
Trump?
just gonna, no, sorry, I was just gonna respond to the,
Only do send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. We are just looking for debates. Only do send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. We're only going to be live for another, literally, honestly, whenever Dean hops on. Like, it could be 12 minutes, or it could be literally an hour and 12 minutes. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Only do send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. Let me make sure to catch up real quick. I have a few people to catch up with. Haley, thank you so much for the $7. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much. I actually think that they're a good thing. I think they're great. Yeah, that's actually really, really sad that it's leading to a lot more deaths there. I'm so sorry to hear that. I've heard that's what's happening there with like some of the new leadership. Joe, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. That is totally true. Thank you so much, Joe. I appreciate the $5. You are right about that. I actually have read into that recently. Keonan, thank you so much for the $10. Thank you. Thank you very much. Sarah, thank you for the $3. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Seriously, though, it's actually crazy, right? Lauren, thank you so much for the $6. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Of course, I'm glad I can be there for you. Jaishad, thank you so much for the $10. Thank you very much. Favorite holiday? Probably got to go with Christmas. Yeah, I definitely do. Katie, thank you so much for the $2. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Yep, I wish they acknowledged that, but they didn't acknowledge them as a part of the community, which is really sad. Like, she's totally a part of the community, and for some reason, they wouldn't have acknowledged that. Let's go to the next individual. Only send a guest request if you're a Trump supporter above the age of 18. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
I'm 18. I'm sorry. Couldn't hear you good.
Do you support Trump?
I do.
Oh, you do? Sorry, I literally, for some reason, I thought they said I don't. You can send a guest request back. That was just muscle memory. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
22.
Do you support Trump?
Yes.
Election held today, Harris versus Trump. Who would you rather vote for?
Probably Trump.
Okay, what's your birth year?
I'm born in 2005.
And what month?
Well, January.
Okay. All right. Why do you support Trump?
Yeah, because he's like attacking this transgender nonsense. So that's why.
Wait, we said January what year? 2005? And you're 21?
Yeah, I'm 21. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. Continue.
Yeah. So he's attacking the transgender nonsense, and I just think we need.
What do you mean by that?
Like the idea that we should give gender reassignment surgeries to minors and.
Nope. Never something that Democrats supported.
Wait, what?
Can you name one Democrat in Congress that supports gender reassignment surgery for children?
They support the drugs.
Wait, big distinction. So can you
Not
provide
really.
can you provide one single person in Congress that supports the view that gender reassignment surgery should be given to minors?
Maybe AOC, right?
Nope, AOC does not believe that.
Not the surgery, but the drugs, like medically transitioning.
Yeah,
right?
that's like when they're like 15, 16 years old. The same time I was able to get access to Accutane through my parents and my doctor. So do you think I should have been able to get access to Accutane when I was 16?
That's not even close to as harmful as like the drugs for gender assignment surgeries.
Wait, you say that it's not even as close to as harmful. How do you provide the distinction?
Yeah, because what were your side effects from Accutane?
There were countless side effects. I'm not going to go through all of them. Many of them were during, but by the way, there are countless side effects that can happen long term as well. And what you're not considering is that there are most people specifically that use hormones, right? They have positive impacts, very positive impacts.
So long-term side effects for Accutane, they don't. That's not typical at all. And
It's
there's
not
no
typical
like.
for you to have these types of negative impacts from hormone replacement therapy as well.
Yes, it is because it blocks
No.
puberty and.
No,
there's all
now
sorts of
you're
research.
flipping back and forth between hormones and puberty blockers. Puberty blockers definitely are very positively impactful. There are individuals that will use it who are cis, right? Right, and especially for precocious puberty.
Okay, but
The hormone replacement
if you're
therapy that
using
causes
it,
puberty.
if you don't need it, if you're using medication that you don't need solely to like battle gender dysphoria, I don't think that's
Wait, this is
appropriate for a
determined by the
child.
doctor and their parents, right, and the kid,
No, no.
not by you.
If you've seen in the UK, they're banning this because there are so many side effects, and it
Nope,
isn't.
they're not
many
banning
doctors-
puberty blockers in the UK.
I'm pretty sure they're banning like gender affirming care in the UK for minors.
So they banned puberty blockers? Really? What's your evidence?
Yeah, I literally like I think I was researching this.
Go ahead,
today.
provide me the source.
Okay, can I look it up?
Yeah. And even so, again, let's say, for example, which this is not true, let's say the UK did do this. That does not justify us then doing it as well, just because the UK did it. That would actually be bad if that happened in the UK, but it didn't. And I know that he's just bullshitting, so that's why I asked him for the source. Thank you for the level up, Sparks. Thank you.
Yeah, so gov.uk says ban on puberty blockers for individuals under 18 is indefinite, meaning.
Okay,
like,
what's the
for
title?
I just said ban on puberty blockers for like under 18.
Let's see. Okay, so they're just to treat gender dysphoria, not overall. So they
Yeah, yeah.
explicitly,
Yeah, they're
so they
banning
didn't.
it for
So by the
trans
way,
kids.
let's just be clear: the UK didn't ban it for any other children. It just banned it for people who are being treated for gender dysphoria.
Yeah, because the people with gender
Wait,
dysphoria
wait, so to
don't
clarify,
physically need it.
so to clarify real quick, do you agree that it is acceptable to give to children in some circumstances deemed by doctors?
If they physically need it, yeah.
Okay.
If they
So
medically need it.
if deemed by doctors, because that's going to determine who needs it, right? Then they should be able to get it. Well, then in the context of the United States, if determined by doctors, why should they be able to get it because of gender dysphoria?
Oh, because gender dysphoria is not a physical necessity. Like they don't physically need to be treated for that. That's more of an option for helping their mental health. It's like you don't need to take depression medication if you're on depression, right? So we probably shouldn't be giving that to kids.
You said we probably shouldn't be giving that to kids. I disagree. I think that doctors should be the ones determining this. It's not determined by some random idiot on the internet called Henry who doesn't actually understand anything about science or anything about the impacts in
but
terms of puberty blockers
these
in the first
doctors
place.
agree with me though.
You know nothing about it. So let me just be very clear. There are countless doctors that will specifically in circumstances see that it is actually beneficial, that the risk-benefit analysis indicates that it's beneficial. And I think that in those determinations, it should be up to the doctors and the parents and the kid and not us in the context of the legislation.
We're seeing countless more doctors agree with me, actually. They're banning it in the UK, Sweden. I heard plenty of US states. So
Wait. That's not
honestly,
most places. So then, would you then agree with all the doctors that are
no,
not saying to ban it?
it is actually most places in the world. It is banned for minors.
So wait. So hold up. You were saying that it's getting banned in most places specifically that you would look at, right? You're not going to look at just like what countries all around the world have, and then you're going to then make your determination of it's what's most places around the world. For example, do you want a universal healthcare system?
Oh yeah, I
You
would.
do?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want gun control legislation that prevents people from getting access to guns?
Well, I think I want gun license. Gun
Wait,
license. I don't want to ban
we
guns.
want exactly what they have in other countries, right? Other countries they ban guns, right?
Well,
So we
other
should do that
countries,
too.
not completely because America
Yeah, they
has
do.
the Second Amendment.
They ban guns. Yeah, what are you talking about?
Yeah, other countries have, but no U.S. state has banned guns.
Okay, wait, that's regardless. You don't judge it based upon states. You were judging it based on foreign countries, right?
I don't know. I think according to
Earlier,
American
you were
culture,
citing foreign countries as a reason as to why we should specifically address that.
yeah, but America has different circumstances. Like for in Alaska, if you're in Alaska, you basically need a gun to like defend yourself from bears or whatever. So I don't know. It's a little different. And also many European countries have
Again, the
banned
point
guns.
that I'm making though is that you don't judge it based upon just what other countries have. You judge it based upon an argument, based upon reasoning, right?
No, I do judge it based on other countries as well.
So if all other countries ban guns, then you'd argue to ban guns here?
Uh, I mean, but yeah, if they had justification for banning guns, like if
No,
gun
I'm
deaths
asking.
were,
I'm asking you. Just the fact in of itself that all other countries have banned guns. Would that
not
mean
not
you
the
want to ban
fact in
guns?
itself, not the fact in itself, but I was
Okay,
justifying.
so then the point is then true that you can't just bring up the fact in of itself that another country has banned this and then use it as justification to ban it here. That's not a good argument.
But it's not just that the countries banned it; it's that the doctors from those countries have.
Wait, but like there are doctors in this
determined
country that indicate that it's effective, and the doctors have not indicated that it should be banned in this country.
more. No, we're actually seeing a stark contrast now from for gender, how to treat gender dysphoria. Like there are more and more doctors that are speaking out against this. So
Okay, so more and more doctors, quote unquote, speaking out against this, and I'd love to see the source that you're referencing. That doesn't at all change the fact that the doctors that indicate that it will be useful or beneficial, you would then say that you want to listen to, right? Because you said that you're listening to the science, you're listening to the doctors. So if a doctor determines that the risk-benefit analysis shows that it's more effective for the kid to be able to get access to puberty blockers, then would you argue that they should be able to get access to it?
yeah, but we've seen the opposite
Yes.
research.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for the concession.
No, because that doesn't reflect our reality because we've seen the opposite. We've seen that it's
What do you
actually.
mean it doesn't reflect our reality? That does reflect our reality. There are countless situations where people get puberty blockers where they did so through the context of a medical professional and their parents. That's literally how they get
Yeah,
puberty
but
blockers in the first place.
I'm saying we're seeing evidence that it's actually harmful, not beneficial.
Okay, but the evidence in the bibliography of bio, you can actually see otherwise if you'd like to go check it out.
Oh yeah. You mean the small sample sizes, short follow-up studies? Got it.
So by the way, the evidence is about you guys banning it is really just about them being uncertain, not about the fact that they have impacts that say are negative.
Okay, well, I still think even trans people, by the way, are against all of these like puberty blockers for kids. So like
No,
I think
mostly trans people say that you should have puberty blockers. Like you're able to get puberty blockers. You're just wrong on that.
well, I was like,
Why are you
seeing
lying?
this. No, I was seeing this video of this guy, this trans person saying we shouldn't have puberty blockers for kids.
Yeah, one trans person said this, therefore most trans people think this. Is that really your argument? Literally, a single fucking person in a video said this, therefore most trans people think this, okay? You're
Well,
fucking
I'm sure
insane.
I'm sure it's a lot of trans people that think
You're
this.
fucking, are you actually, is that seriously your argument?
Well, my argument is look at other countries, what they're
Wait,
doing, what they
pause,
believe,
pause,
the
pause.
risks
No,
to
no,
be.
specifically about trans people. Was that your only argument? That's your only argument
is
for
it my
saying
only
that most
argument?
trans people
How is
think
it
this?
I've given you a whole argument already.
Wait, no, you literally just gave one person. You said there was one person you saw in a video that said this. What?
Yeah, and okay,
I promise you there's more than one trans person in the chat listening to the stream right now that absolutely agrees with my point of view. I promise you.
Yeah, because they're in an echo chamber. That's
Oh,
why.
okay. So can you define echo chamber?
Yeah, an echo chamber is a space where a bunch of people with the same ideas just spread them back and forth with each other.
Really?
with no
So is a
opposition.
debate panel really that? You really think a debate panel is just going to be the same people with the same views? Really, I'm debating you, my God. We have disagreeing opinions. It's a debate. The whole point of the stream is about disagreeing with each other. This is literally antithetical to what a fucking echo chamber is.
No, because everyone in your chat agrees with you. So how is it an echo chamber? How is it not an echo chamber?
You don't agree with me. And also the people in the chat, they're watching a live stream where people agree and disagree and debate on that. It's not like someone's in like a liberal live where they're just talking to liberals that agree with them. That could be an echo chamber. You could define it as that. If it's only liberals in there and it's just like a Q&A live stream, you're only doing liberals, only liberals are brought up on the panels or whatever, and it's all just liberals in the stream. That's an echo chamber. This is the exact opposite of a fucking echo chamber. The fact that you would describe this as an echo chamber, one, proves you don't know what an echo chamber is. Two, shows how fucking stupid you are. And three, is just embarrassing.
Wait, so you think if there are 5,000 people watching and you basically have this ritual where you bring up Trump supporters and try to make them look bad by insulting them, you don't think that's an echo chamber?
So I bring people up and I insult them after I destroy their arguments. Yeah, that's not an echo chamber.
Do you
That's
think
the
you've
opposite
ever
of an echo chamber.
Do you think you've ever lost an argument?
No, I've never lost an argument. Yes, of course I've lost an argument before. Not against MAGA, but I've lost an argument before.
So you don't think you've ever lost an argument against a conservative Trump supporter?
No,
Ever?
never. Literally never.
So you're just proving my point that this is clearly an echo chamber, and obviously you have. Obviously you have. I mean, but
I could say I've been wrong on points. Like I've misread things, I've said things incorrectly, I've been wrong on points, but I can't say I've ever lost a debate to a Trump supporter. Yeah, I can't say that.
So do you think it's possible for you to ever lose a debate to a Trump supporter or no?
For example, let me give you an example though. I have lost a debate to a Christian when I was an agnostic, when I literally didn't know anything about it. Like actually when I first started doing my lives where I do prove to me God exists, I had no clue. I literally didn't know any of the arguments. I learned Pascal's wager from the live. Like I learned all these arguments from the live. I heard the Kalam cosmological argument first on the live. So like I had no examples of this before. And a really strong Christian debater came up and debated me and knew way more about the topic than me. I've definitely lost a debate on that before. Now I've come back and done that, and I debated that same person. I would say I definitely have a different result now. But the point I would then make is that I can acknowledge if I've ever lost a debate. I just genuinely don't think I've ever lost a debate to a MAGA supporter.
Yeah, I'm sure you probably lost like debates regarding transgenderism or whatever. and
No,
other-
never.
Never?
Never.
Really? So tell
Never
me, what
lost,
is a
never
woman?
once.
What is a woman?
What is a woman? An adult human person that's committed towards social and cultural norms that typically associate the female sex as a prescription of their gender identity.
Wait, but that's actually an incorrect definition because a real definition is a woman is an adult human female. So you
You
just
can't.
already lost.
That is so
You just already
embarrassing.
lost.
That's so embarrassing. You can't say I have an incorrect definition. I'm telling you how I'm using the term,
No,
and
literally
you're
the
saying,
dictionary.
dude, listen.
The dictionary just
I'm going to mute you. So the dictionary doesn't define the only usage of terms. The dictionary is a catalog for how we typically use terms. So language is subjective. It's dependent upon the way that you're using it. All you have to do is clarify the way that you're using a specific term. I clarified the way that I'm using the term in that context. In that context, and you said I'm incorrect for using a term that doesn't make any sense. I would only be incorrect if I misused the term with respect to the definition that I was using.
Yeah. So, well, still, your definition is absurd because you could also apply that to like a species identity, to race identity. Like, what is
What is that
stopping
even
someone
supposed to
from
mean?
what is stopping someone from
That
transitioning
is
to a
not
different
that I
race
could not apply
or a
that to
different
race
species?
or to or species.
Yes, you can, because
No,
there are
it's not.
social characteristics associated with species, associated with race, that people might have a different internal sense of identity to align with. So it's completely absurd that.
So, for example, we believe that names are legitimate and valid, right? And that's like a social label that we align with as a part of our identity, right?
Yeah, sure. I mean, names used to mean
Could I come up
things.
to you and okay, so if you think that that's valid, you think social labels of identity are valid, then what's invalid about a social label for identity relating to gender?
Because gender overwhelmingly reflects biological sex, obviously.
Well,
And
that's not how we're using the term here. And I would actually overwhelmingly say that it doesn't. I would say most of our experience with gender is from a sociological standpoint, not from a biological. I'm not looking at someone's chromosomes, someone's gametes, or someone's genitalia when I am determining their gender, right? Or I am engaging with the presentation or how they engage with gender, their identity relates to gender. None of that is something that we're ever going to engage with from each other unless we're referencing like our significant others or something like that, like people that you are there with an intimate basis and you're going to know things about them, you're going to be closer to them with that respect. Then obviously you might know those specific things about them to a greater extent, okay? But the fact of the matter is that most of our experience with gender is not from that biological basis, it's from the social basis.
no, I disagree because it is from the physical traits you have. You can easily observe. There's a reason, like a man, the typical heterosexual relationship, right, is a man dating a woman, and they have different physical characteristics, obviously, and that's how we reproduce as humans. So for you to say there's no physical determination of gender, right, is like ridiculous. It's not all your feelings.
Well, it's so you're misunderstanding my perspective, right? So obviously there are presentations that relate to gender, of course, but obviously they're going to be predicated off of at least how I use gender, based upon our social commitments to be in accordance with certain sets of social and cultural norms that are typically associated with sex as a prescription of our gender identity. So that's the way that I'm using the term. Now, if you're saying, oh, I have this biological usage of the term, sure, you can have your own biological usage, but that's separate from the way that I'm using the term. That doesn't make the way that I'm using the term incorrect. That doesn't make the way that I'm using the term bullshit. That doesn't make the way that I'm using the term nonsense. Just because you use the term differently than I do, or other people in society use the term differently than I do.
Well, I think it is nonsense because your term implies that
By the way, you
implies.
probably believe the election in
you
2020 was rigged. You probably believe vaccines
no
aren't safe and
no
effective. We can go through all of
no.
this. Watch.
Hey, you can keep interrupting me or I can speak, right? So it implies that if I believe I'm a woman and I truly believe it, suddenly I'm a woman. So where is the reality, like involved in that? It seems like it's
Well, it's
completely
not
up
logically
to your
possible for
opinion.
you to truly believe that because you are not trans. You are not in a
Wait,
situation where you
how?
have that understanding. But for people who do truly have the understanding of the commitments to be in accordance with this particular set of social and cultural norms, with expression of their gender identity, absolutely. If you're a trans woman, you are a woman. If you're a trans man, you are a man. Absolutely.
So do you think if I truly believed I was a woman, would I be a woman?
Again, like I just told you, that's not possible for you because you're
How is it not
cis.
possible?
Because you're
Wait,
cis.
why are you assuming my identity? You haven't even asked for my pronouns.
I don't need to ask for your pronouns. I know based upon the arguments you're making and based upon how you're presenting yourself, right? Exactly what your identity is, exactly where you're coming from, and exactly that you're not trans.
So you're stereotyping me essentially. So what if I, for example, stereotype a trans woman to be a man because they look like a man, right? Is that wrong, do you think?
I would think that's wrong, but that's not the way that I'm making this determination. I'm making this determination based upon your ideological preferences and the way that you're phrasing these arguments. That's the way that I came to a determination specifically that you are not trans, right? And based upon your presentation of this argument, because it's basic deductive reasoning. What you just provided is not deductive reasoning.
So
Like,
so you're
come on,
saying
bro.
basically
You can't just tried to criticize deductive reasoning. That's what you just tried to do.
But what you're saying basically is that I can't be trans. You're basically discriminating against me.
Yeah, you
right?
can't be trans because you're cis. Is that complicated?
Wait, but why can't I be trans though?
What? Like, seriously, I don't think it's that complicated for you to be like, oh, I can't be trans because I'm cis. Yeah. Can you be gay? No, you're straight.
Wait, why are you like labeling people? Do you think, what about the detransitioners? Do you think that they were never trans? Because by that logic, you believe people are born trans, correct? If you think I can't change to be a transgender person.
Yeah, I think that the understanding the way that they respond is sort of innate and is not specifically just based upon some sort of volitional choice to do so. It's based upon a way that they innately respond to these particular social and cultural norms.
So do you think people are born in the wrong body then, basically, because you think they're born trans?
So certain aspects of their body aren't reflective of their gender identity, their true gender identity, yeah.
Okay, so why do we then see, like, for example, I believe that, genetics has some component in being gay, right? So we see gay people even in conservative households, even in the Middle East where it's not acceptable. We don't see trans people in other societies.
They do. They exist.
Okay, name one trans person from the 1800s.
Name one trans person from the 18. Can you name one short person that was under 5'1" from the 1800s?
I'm sorry. What? How is that related to my question?
Can you name one short person under 5'1" from the 1800s?
Wait, I'm sure we've seen.
So you don't think short people under 5'1" existed in the 1800s? Wow, that's crazy, bro.
No, but
because you can't name a single short person under 5'1" in the 1800s. Then that means that they didn't exist, right?
No, but I could look one up right now. I don't have enough.
And I could look up a trans person from the 1800s too.
Try looking them up.
Wait,
I mean, I can name.
You understand that you can. Like that's just an embarrassing thing to argue.
I can name like Oscar Wilde was gay from the 1800s.
I'm sorry. There are historical bases for trans people existing. There's historical art that represents trans people. There's historical there's historical stories and books and representations of trans people. That's definitely very clear.
Wait, so then name a trans person though.
There are people spamming them in the chat.
Someone said Queen Victoria. I mean, completely incorrect.
They're referencing specifically under 5'1", I'm assuming.
Okay. Well, we'll see. There's no one spamming any real trans person. They're saying Shakespeare.
You're like not reading the chat. You're like purposefully not. He's just acting like he doesn't see things in the chat. Like, dude, how embarrassing, bro.
I mean, my man,
you're just acting like you don't see the chat is hilarious, dude. Like the chat is spamming people, and he's just acting like he doesn't read it in the chat. It's really funny.
My point is that I'm sure gender dysphoria existed, but I don't.
Gender dysphoria is not the same thing as being trans. There are people who are not trans with gender dysphoria.
Okay. Do you know what is required to undergo?
Wait, do you agree that there are people who are not trans with gender dysphoria?
I think there are people who claim to be trans, but I don't think that label means anything.
Are there people who are not trans who have gender dysphoria?
Yeah, I'm sure, definitely, of course.
Okay, thank you for the concession.
Wait, no, how is it a concession? Because you
acknowledge that being trans and having gender dysphoria are not the exact same thing.
Because I think being trans is basically made up, and that people with gender dysphoria shouldn't transition to the opposite sex. I think that's ridiculous.
So you're not actually like providing an argument. You're just simply saying that you just don't like trans people. And you know what I have to say to you? Go fuck yourself.
Okay, you're scared.
Stop worrying about people's genitalia. Stop being so obsessed about trans people's existence. You literally are so unbelievably obsessed with trans people. Just let them exist, bro. They just want to exist.
No, but they're trying to force me to call them.
They're not forcing you jack shit. You're just being a dick.
Aren't they?
They're trying to force you to be respectful. They're telling you to not be a dick, dude.
So tell me, you would probably not
like
date
seriously,
a trans
like wait,
woman,
are you mad that people in society tell you to not be a dick?
No. I think they are actually the
Because
ones
that's
being
what,
dicks,
wait, that's
right?
what's happening. You're literally
No,
mad
but they're
that
the
trans
ones being
people are
dicks. And
saying
look, we
don't
have
be
an
a
echo
dick.
chamber
That's literally
here.
all you're mad. Wait, and it's not just trans people. It's also me. I'm telling you, don't be a dick to trans people. I'm not trans, and I'm telling you that right now.
Wait, what if I said
Stop
you're
being a
being a dick to trans
disrespectful
people?
little shit. Like what?
You said I couldn't be trans. Isn't that transphobic? You said I couldn't be.
No, it's not because you're cis. I said you can't be trans because you're cis.
So a cisgender person can't go and say they want to be trans? That's insane
No,
for you to say
can't just
that.
you can't just be like, oh, now I'm trans. That's not how it works. If you're cis, that
How does it
literally
work?
by the way, being cis literally means by definition that you're not trans. Like
Wait, but
like how could you be trans and also be cis? That makes no sense. It's logically
but
incapable.
you don't think you
Okay,
can
it's literally
start out...
it is literally logically contradictory. So when I say you can't, yes, I literally mean you can't because it's fucking contradictory.
You don't think you can start out cis and then become trans later?
I think that you could have a difference in understanding, but you were trans, right? Like you could have an understand. Like for example, my sister who is gay. She specifically throughout her whole life thought she was straight because she grew up in a conservative Christian household in Iowa, where specifically that's how she was taught she was. But she was not straight. She never was straight, right? That's just what she was taught she was, and that's the way that she viewed herself from that particular standpoint. That doesn't mean she was straight at any point in time. That simply just means that that was what society was telling her. So that's the way that she saw herself because that's the only way that society told her is the way that she could have saw herself. Okay? But she still was gay. Like that's like it would be ridiculous to say that she went from straight to becoming gay. Like
Well, there
come
are
on.
definitely
Like,
straight
your
people who
argument that you're
become
making
gay.
right now is the same type of argument.
No, there are definitely straight people who become gay later that were straight before. It's absolutely true. You don't believe
so
that?
I would say that that's probably something in alignment with being bisexual.
No,
or there's
because
some
there are men-
fluidity that exists there.
There are men that go to prison and then they become gay. Did you know that?
That they didn't become gay.
No, they do.
They would have already had that attraction.
No. That's how do you know? Why are you speaking for every single person? That's not their experience.
So let me explain. So if you have an attraction that can be fluid, that is something that you have always had. It's
You
not
don't think your
something that you
attractions
can
can
just
change?
gain by choice. Does that make
Wait,
sense?
no, but your attractions can totally change though.
So, but that's not out of choice, right?
I wouldn't say your attractions are out of choice, but obviously like your decisions are out of your choice, right?
Right? But do you understand that that's not out of choice, right? And also, like, in terms of this, like, again, that was from the baseline. They already were fluid in terms of their sexuality. Okay? It's not that they just went from not being
No,
fluid
they were
to
straight
being
before.
fluid. Does that make sense?
No, they would have been straight before.
What? That
Yeah, there are definitely gay people in prison right now that when they get out of prison, they will go back to being straight as well. This is just like
so
a
they're
common...
bisexual.
No, they're not bisexual. It's just their environment changed.
Okay, that's still not out of choice. Do you agree? Wait, do you think you could choose to be gay?
No, I don't think that.
Okay, so then I don't know what your argument is.
I think that very woke families can influence their kids to become trans when they wouldn't have been otherwise.
Yeah, so could you have been influenced to be trans if you grew up with woke parents?
Oh, everyone could have. Yeah.
No. If I grew up with woke parents, I would not have been trans.
Well, then why do we see higher rates of trans children when there is one other trans child in the household? Do you know that? If you have one trans child in the household, it is a much higher possibility that you'll have another sibling who is trans or non-binary.
It's more acceptable?
No, it's not just that it's more acceptable. It's that it's almost
literally
like
it's out of
encouraged,
acceptance.
basically.
That's like actually
No.
the explanation.
So you think people are born trans? Basically, that's insane. There's no evidence.
I
to
do
suggest it.
think that there's like like being trans is an innate way of responding to the social and cultural norms that exist in society, the same way that me being a man is my innate way of responding to the social and cultural norms that typically exist in the society.
Can you define what gender is, by the way? Like, what is gender?
I already
Tell me.
defined it for you.
No, you said what a woman is. You didn't say what gender is.
Well, gender is, again, it's going to be pretty trivial because I already mentioned to you what it is, but it's going to be the commitments to be in accordance with certain sets of social and cultural norms that are typically associated with the sexes as a prescription of your gender identity.
Okay, so at the end of the day, it's based on how you feel, right? Because you can
It's
have.
based upon your commitments to be in accordance with certain characteristics as a prescription of gender identity.
Well, for example, like a tomboy,
Is your name
is a
based
girl
upon the way
she-
that you feel?
Well, my name's assigned at birth, so.
Okay, but like not everyone's name is. Like JD Vance, you call him JD Vance?
Oh yeah, because
But that's not his name assigned at birth.
Well, it's the nickname probably he grew up with, right? So.
No, he changed his name.
What was his original name?
I mean, I don't actually think that would be a good thing to say. I think you should look it up yourself if you want to do that.
But as I was saying, like a tomboy is a girl who aligns like typically with the characteristics associated with the male sex, right? That doesn't mean they're a boy.
Repeat that?
Like, do you know what a tomboy is? It's a girl who has similar characteristics to that of the male
Yeah,
sex,
they're
right?
not in accordance with those characteristics as a prescription of their gender identity, though.
Oh wait,
Like again,
their
there are
gender
feminine
identity.
men, there are masculine women, and that does not
Yeah.
mean that I'm not saying because you have an expression of a characteristic that makes you that gender. That's not the argument. The argument's the commitment to be in accordance with those characteristics as a prescription of your gender identity. Do you see why I define it the way that I do? It's
Yeah.
also, just to clarify, the way that I establish it is to get especially around the argument that you're mentioning, because I've thought about that before.
Well, I know the way you define it is so abstract that it becomes almost meaningless, basically, because
It's so abstract, everybody.
It becomes meaningless.
It's just that you don't have a criticism of it. You're just mad
No,
that
my
you can't
criticism
criticize it. You're mad that
is
you
that-
can't find an easy way to say that I'm wrong. That's why.
No, my
That's-
criticism is that
this
anyone
why
can
my
just say
argument
whatever
is so
gender
strong
they
here
are.
is because it makes you fucking flop like a fish, bro. Because you don't know how to respond to it. Because you don't understand it. Because it actually makes sense to you. You're unwilling to acknowledge it. Because
So-
you're so used to dealing with people, right, specifically, that don't know how to explain it. Because there's no need to have to explain it. Okay? No one needs to be able to explain this. Like, the typical person does not need to have the hyper debate bro explanation that I have. No one has that for, like, a chair, for tables, or for ordinary things in our life. We don't need to have that for what men and women are, for what gender is. These are ordinary concepts that are pretty difficult to define because it's very, very hard to define necessary and sufficient conditions that will establish gender and sex. I actually think it's impossible to do so. If you were to boil down anyone's argument for gender or for sex, for establishing the conditions that establish gender or for sex, no one will be able to establish necessary and sufficient conditions for establishing gender or sex that they actually will end up applying in definition cases. I think it's going to be different depending on the context, right? That's how it's typically going to be.
Yeah. So basically, what you're saying is that it's based on how you feel, and no one can really define it, right? So
I already defined it. I defined
Right.
it, and you're just angry that I provided you that debate
Yeah,
bro
so, wait,
definition.
why
and you're
can't
so
I
mad that you
change-
can't get around the debate bro definition that you started complaining about it.
Wait, tell me, why can't I change my species? Why can't I align? Why can't I put on a panda costume and become a panda? Why not?
Well, I mean, I think that we could say that, like, for example, like, you can for, like, the representation, but not in literal sense because of the fact that we
Yeah.
use it in a biological sense. We don't refer to animals in solely just a social sense. There is
Oh.
no understanding of animals that is typically or commonly understood at all, right, where people specifically are doing so, right, in a legitimate sense, where it is that they legitimately are that in which is they are representing. Right, like
Yeah,
for
and a
example, like
trans-
when I was a kid, I did in like when I was at church, I played a sheep in the when you do like Jesus in the manger or whatever, like the three wise men show up and whatnot. You know the whole deal. I played a sheep, right? And
Yeah.
I was a sheep then, but that doesn't mean I was literally a sheep. I was representing a sheep, right?
Yeah, sure. And I believe a trans woman could like pass as a woman, right? If they really trick someone. But that
It's
doesn't
not
mean
about
they
tricking, it's that they
literally
are a woman. It's because our understanding of
No.
gender isn't solely biological. Your notion of gender is not the only understanding of it. And also, again, there is no understanding of animals where we're specifically going to have a commitment to be in accordance with how animals act, which is then going to literally make me an animal. There is no understanding of that, okay?
Well,
And
we are
what you're
animals.
arguing is that because some social norms operate a certain way, that means all social norms have to operate that way, which is not true. For example, Because you can pick your name, does that mean you can pick your gender?
No, because gender reflects.
Wait, there you
biological
go.
sex.
You just conceded. You don't think
No,
all
because gender
social
reflects-
constructs operate the same just because they're social constructs?
No. Well, if a social construct is meaningless, right? So if you can change your name eventually becomes basically meaningless. But
Wait, you can
you can't
change your name,
gender.
and it's not meaningless.
Well, the reason you can't change your gender is because
Wait,
like,
do
a
you
straight
agree you
man-
can change your name?
Yeah, legally you can change.
If
your
you
name,
change your
right?
name, does that make your name meaningless?
Well, it could be meaningful to you, but it doesn't reflect any reality.
It does. It reflects the reality of what your identity is, what your name is.
Well, what reality is that?
Your name is this.
Yeah, so that's not.
This is your
telling me what reality that
this
is.
is your social tag for identification.
Sure, and you could. That doesn't mean it reflects anything in reality. It just is a social
but
construct.
That's your
right?
social. Wait, so you don't
And-
think? Do you think language is within reality?
Yeah, it's how we communicate with each other.
Yeah, because that's socially determined. All language is social.
No, it's biological. But yeah, you're right. It is social and cultural.
No, it's not.
but-
It's social. Okay. Did you just really say language is biological? What type of
No,
fucking stupid
because
bullshit?
humans naturally have the capacity for language, right?
Not all humans. And let me just clarify.
Well, most obviously.
Wait, we have the capacity to understand and engage with language does not mean that it's biological, specific that language is biological. We developed, right, we have a biological capability to socially engage in that way. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but it's based in reality in the way that our brain naturally has a tendency to develop language, right?
Wait, so then if you think that again, gender is just a byproduct of language. It's an aspect of language. So if you think that language can be referred to in that way, so then so is gender. Because you can't provide
gender
any relevant symmetry breaker between the two.
Because gender is overwhelmingly dependent on biological sex, besides for a small minority of people who deny that, basically. They have gender dysphoria. So
wait, that's not what gender dysphoria is, one. And then two, that's not what people who are trans think, right? You do not deny biological sex because you're trans. You can acknowledge biological sex and be trans.
Yeah.
Like trans men acknowledge they're biologically female, trans women acknowledge they're biologically male, right?
Well,
we're not saying that when we reference gender. We're referencing specifically, right, the social construct of gender. We're not referencing, right, specifically just biology.
Well, the problem is they call people who don't want to date trans women, right? They call a straight man who doesn't want to date a trans woman transphobic, when obviously that isn't transphobic, right? What do you think about that?
So, I mean, it can come from a place of transphobia, but I don't think just because you don't want to date a particular trans person that makes it transphobic. That's not an argument that anyone uses.
What if I don't?
No one argues that because you don't find a particular trans person attractive, that then makes you transphobic. That would be a ridiculous argument.
What if I don't want to date any trans woman?
If you don't want to date any trans woman? Well, I mean, you could
No, I
just be in a
only wanna date-
relationship already, right? Technically, you don't want to date anyone else other than the person you're with. That could
No,
be
I'm not in a
that
rel-
could be a particular understanding. If you're saying you have a preference against attraction against trans people just because they're trans, I would say I think you're lying.
Wait, I do have a.
I think you're lying. I think I could totally find pictures of trans people that you would find attractive.
No, but what if I, for example, want to have children?
And I don't think that makes you gay or bisexual. You can be straight and you can find trans women attractive.
Well, you could be tricked into thinking they're women, into thinking they possess.
Wait, so
the
you
traits
still
of the
ended up
female
finding
sex.
them attractive?
Yeah, you would be tricked.
When you say
into-
tricked,
but I-
that's just cringe. Like that you say tricked. Like they're not tricking you in any means. They're literally a woman.
But they don't have the capacity.
And
to
you
have
found them
children.
attractive.
They don't.
And
have
you're
the
just mad that
capacity
you
to-
found them attracted. Like it's really funny that like
I
you
don't find
literally
them
are going to be like, oh, but I got tricked. Well, you still found them attractive.
But I don't find them attractive.
You did.
Obviously, because
you
I'm
literally
attracted to
did. That's why
real
you said you
biological
quote
women.
unquote got tricked.
No, I said I could foresee a circumstance, a rare circumstance where you could be tricked, right? That doesn't mean, that doesn't defeat the overwhelming trends that trans women aren't attractive, right? They're not going to attract a straight man.
Wait, there are plenty of trans women that straight men find attractive. I'm confused what your argument is.
No, I disagree, but also
What?
for you to say it's
Wait. So you could make the argument that you couldn't find a single trans person attractive.
Well, I think you could find them like attractive, but that would be extremely rare, and it would be
Okay,
dependent
wait,
on
so
their
thank you,
surgery.
thank you for the concession.
It would be dependent on tricking you.
Wait, so
Basically.
thank you for the concession though, that you can find a trans person attractive and still be straight, right?
Yeah, but that doesn't
Thank you for the concession.
negate
Okay,
that.
now
No,
can we move on?
but that doesn't negate the overwhelming trend that they're not attractive. But okay, sure, we can move on. What do you want to talk about next?
Wait, you could overwhelmingly not find a whole group of people attractive, but then you find some members of that group attractive, and you still, what? Like for example, right? You could find only a few men attractive, out of all men, and that would still make you bisexual.
No, I don't think that would though.
If you were sexually attracted to some men, only a few men who were like you deemed to be attractive, that makes you bisexual.
Well, you would be overwhelmingly straight though. So I don't.
That's still
I don't
bisexual though.
think no. Bisexual.
Wait, you
I
understand it's a
don't believe
spectrum,
in these
right?
labels.
It's not just like when you're bisexual, it's not just like 50-50 down the middle. Like,
But I don't believe in these
that's not
labels.
what being bisexual is.
I don't think anyone is like 100% gay or 100% straight. Like I don't believe, or 100% bisexual, right? I don't believe.
Whoa! Holy shit! Holy shit! What is going on here? So you don't think anyone's 100% straight? I'm 100% straight.
No, but I feel if you went
I'm
to prison, you
100%
would-
straight. Like I don't like that's what being straight is. If you aren't
No.
100% straight, that means you're bisexual.
I guarantee you, if you went to prison,
That's
I
like
know for a
literally
fact
what that means, right?
you would probably be attracted to men, bro. You would definitely in prison. You would. I can tell just based on how you act, basically, right? I can tell.
He's saying it. You're saying if I went to prison, I would find men attractive. No, that's not how it works. But dude, wait, Henry, did you just you just understand what bisexual means? So yes, if you are not 100% straight, then yes, you are going to be bisexual. And by the way, you making this argument tells me you're bisexual. There's nothing wrong with being bisexual at all.
No, but it doesn't.
Like
it's
you're
not the
actually
same
you're
as,
actually
like-
flabbergasted that I said that you can be 100% straight. Like actually, you're kind of flabbergasted, and that's totally fine. That's understanding.
Like, for example, you know, like
Understandable.
a kid that is raised by orangutans might end up eventually being attracted to an orangutan, right?
What, dude? No. What are
Right?
you talking about, bro?
It isn't just based on genetics; it's based on environment.
Oh my god, dude. Wait, are you saying that someone could raise you to be attracted to an orangutan?
If it was like
Are you
for
saying
a long period
are
of
you
time.
saying your parents could have raised you to be attracted to orangutans?
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
That was literally
That's
what your
pretty right.
argument was, by the way.
Listen, the environmental argument for same-gendered attractions is played out in old, okay? Like, when people started to say this in the mainstream forever ago, okay, it was then tested heavily with what? Conversion therapy. We saw conversion therapies pop up around the country, quite frankly, around the world. Why? Because if being gay is driven by environment, then in the right environment, being straight could be driven by environment. And then you could turn
Yeah.
a gay man straight. But
You
see,
could.
the thing is that these conversion therapies that put that hypothesis to the test absolutely failed. Every single one of them ended up shutting down. And then the founders of them admitted their crimes against humanity and apologized to members of the LGBTQ+ community and acknowledged that it never worked. Most of these conversion therapies were operated by self-proclaimed ex-gay men saying that their methods worked on themselves. The largest of these being Exodus International that shut down in the early 2000s. And when they shut down, their quote-unquote ex-gay owner said that, you know, he was even still gay and that the conversion therapy didn't work on him and that he was sorry for what he had done. And of course, we see a bunch of lesbian, gay, bi, pansexual, and queer people come from environments where you just wouldn't naturally expect that outcome given that your hypothesis was true, right? Such as incredibly conservative Christian families. For these reasons and plenty more, I find the environmental argument to be false. Now, maybe you'll say that the environmental argument is true because there's a higher reported level of gay people today than there was 100 years ago, and clearly society is more accepting of gay people today. So maybe the environment of society is just driving more people to be gay as a percentage of the population. But the same thing could be said about people who are self-reportedly left-handed. When we really stigmatized that in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, there was a significantly lower percentage of the population that reported being left-handed. But now that society does not stigmatize being left-handed as much, the overall percentage of the population that quote unquote is left-handed has skyrocketed. So I think that the issue here is more so people underreporting their sexuality when they're more oppressed, and then feeling more confident in reporting who they are when they're not as oppressed.
Yeah. Well, I think there's both environmental factors and genetic factors. So I think it'd be ignorant to assume otherwise.
So what's the argument that there are environmental factors to being gay?
Oh, well, because everything influences our environment. Our personality is influenced by our environment, and certain personalities are more.
Hey, Henry, if you went to prison, do you think you'd be gay?
Wait, sorry, what?
If you went to prison, do you think you'd become gay?
I mean, that's impossible to know.
I'm asking what you think.
No, I don't think anything.
Also, Parker, your question about him being attracted to orangutans would definitely work right now, right? Because you'd say it actually is true that that your environment could make you attracted to like orangutans, to chickens, to dogs.
Yeah, we've seen that.
So you're saying that your parents could have raised you to find dogs attractive?
You're putting no. I'm not saying
No, they
that.
couldn't
Why
have?
are you? No, because I would have been introduced to society. Obviously, right? It's unforeseeable. You can't predict the future, right? But obviously, your environment plays
So
a
to
factor.
clarify, you do think your parents could have raised you to find dogs sexually attractive?
No, I don't. I don't think
No,
that
it's
they
not
could have
possible.
controlled.
Literally not possible, right?
I don't want to say it's not possible.
So it is possible for your parents to raise you to find dogs sexually attractive?
Yeah, a lot of stuff is possible. Like, I don't understand why you're laughing at that because
That's a
there are
crazy
kids-
concession, bro. You're
No,
conceding
it's not
that your
even a
parents could
concession.
have raised you to find dogs sexually attractive, bro? That's nuts, dude. That's nuts.
No, I didn't
Dogs,
say
bro.
that they wouldn't.
Dogs.
I said it's like perhaps possible. I don't know the future.
Jesus Christ, bro. Come on. I think I could rule that one out.
You can rule that one out? What do you mean?
Yeah, I think I could totally rule that one out.
Well, I don't understand why you're denying that environment plays a role in your personality, right? In your life.
It does, but not in terms of like you finding like fucking like animals sexually attractive, bro. What are you talking about?
Well, yeah, I think we're genetically wired to find humans attractive, but obviously it's still possible that your environment could like create a disorder where you find animals attractive, right?
So I just want to clarify here. Would you have any like science or like studies or empirical research here to like demonstrate that one's environment can make them gay?
My point is that environment plays a role in everything, so you can't. There is no
I
way
disagree
to.
with that. Right?
You
Like,
disagree?
I don't think that like for instance the environment that I'm raised in could change the color of my eyes. I don't think that the environment that I'm raised in.
Well, that's a physical trait.
Well, how do you know that being gay isn't underpinned by physical traits of like the brain, for instance? Because when we look at the science, we do see that gay men have larger anterior commissures on average compared to straight men, which is the nerve lining between the hemispheres of the brain. We see that they have different levels of particular neurohormones, such as FSH, varying traits of the AI-NAH3 subsection of the hypothalamus, varying dendritic densities. And in the same way, there seems to exist sexual dimorphism between the sexes within one's neuroanatomical development. That same thing seems to be true relative to one's sexual orientation.
Yeah. So we've seen like identical twins, for example. One of them can be gay, one of them can be straight. So that refutes the idea that you're born gay. There is no gay gene, understand, right?
So under this view that we have identical twins, one could be gay, one could be straight, well, what we actually do see is a very strong correlate within twins, okay, for
Sure.
the same sexual orientation.
Yeah,
And when we say that, well, we can't identify a physical marker in which is going to be like different dependent on the sexual orientation of the two twins, therefore there isn't a sexual physical marker. Well, what I would just say is that we don't truly understand all of the complexities of neuroscience and the brain. And with our limited understanding of the neurosciences, it seems to be the case that we have identified these correlations. And in the circumstances where we can't see that correlate, I wouldn't say that rules out the notion that being gay is driven by biological underpinnings, but rather we just simply don't understand the biological underpinnings that exist in all cases.
Yeah, sure. I think genetics definitely has something to do with it, but to deny that environment also influences your sexuality is just ridiculous because, of course, there are twins where one of them, identical twins, where one of them is gay, one of them is straight. But sure, there might be a correlation where they're more likely to have the same orientation, right? But that doesn't negate my point. I never said that genetics doesn't play a
Well, the point
part.
that I'm making here is that even in the case of identical twins, right, do we know that they have identical neuroanatomical makeup, right? And like all senses,
Yes.
even the senses that we don't truly understand?
Well, yes, they share the same DNA, exactly.
Well, I guess I'd have to see that because I think it's possible that maybe they have different neuroanatomical makeups. Would you be able to show up a study on that?
Yeah, sure, of course. But I mean, I think it's almost like intuitive because there definitely are identical twins that where one of them's gay, one of them's straight. So
Well, I mean, I'd just like to see that.
Yep.
Yeah, specifically that there's going to be a pair of identical twins where one's gay, one's straight, and they have identical neuroanatomical makeup. How you doing, Parker?
Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. Pretty chill day so far. We're like 2.5 hours into the stream.
Oh, you're muted.
Oh. I said pretty good so far. The stream's been pretty good. About 2.5 hours in the stream. I was gonna hop off whenever you wanted to hop on. So you're cool to go on whenever you want to, by the way.
yeah. So by the way,
I'm setting up my setup.
You're still setting it up, you said?
Geez, man. Yeah, I just got back from taking a stroll around the area.
Oh, you're good. You're good. Well, I'll just hop off whenever you're ready to hop on. So just let me know whenever, and also make sure to respond to my text there real quick as well.
So you know, scientific consensus says that both environment and genetics play a role in sexuality. So,
Well, when they say environment, what this could mean is like the neonatal environment of like a mother's womb and the impact that like various things can have on one's development, right? Like I like to know what they mean when they say environment.
Yeah, I think what they mean is probably different than what you mean.
I don't know why you guys are like denying facts. This is pretty. This is an easy consensus, even among like liberals, right? They acknowledge that both environment.
Can you define what that specific environment means?
Yeah, environment means like the home you were raised up in.
Like, does it mean like if you have woke parents?
What?
Right, like, cause like what they could be referring to here is like the conditions of the womb during neonatal development, or like epigenetics, right? Like
that's not just what they're referring to.
Okay,
I promise you that's definitely what it is. It is. I promise you, it's not like, oh yeah, if you have woke parents, then yeah, you're definitely gonna be trans.
Right, like, so then clarify that. Like, show us that.
Yeah, so it's a PBS study, right? So
what's the title?
Parker, you can look into it since I'm on my phone.
Yeah, tell me the title. No, give him a minute to find this real quick.
It's from August 2019. PBS study says there is no gay gene, there is no straight gene, and that's the first part of the title. I don't know the rest.
PBS?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Let me click on this right now. Published. Alrighty, here we are. And the results, where in the results does it say what you're saying? Oh, this one doesn't, you can't click on the full article.
It's from August 2019, so.
You can't read the full article, so it's literally paywalled. You have to be a part of an individual institution, so we'd have to actually call Matt to be able to open this one. You haven't read shit.
it's literally not paywalled, so I don't know what you're talking
It's
about.
not.
Are you
Yeah,
on?
sorry. It's not paywalled. It's institution walled. Sorry.
So no, I'm reading it right now, literally.
Really?
So, yeah.
Really? Are you on science.org? Because that's what they cited. They literally
No,
clicked
no,
on
it's
it. You're on the
I'm on
PBS article, my
PBS.org.
guy. Yeah,
PBS.org.
yeah. Click on the study that the PBS article links you to. Genius. Wow. Wow.
But you can still read the article. Like, why are you denying
Yeah,
that? I
where
don't
in the
understand.
article does it say specifically that if you have woke parents, you're gonna be trans?
You can just use inferences that are very basic because it says
Where?
there's no gay gene, there's no straight gene.
Yeah. No one's claiming that, but they're claiming specific traits increase the likelihood. So there's no one trait that determines in all scenarios that you're gay, is what they're saying.
Yeah, your environment and your genetics both influence it.
Wait, when you say environment, does it say what environment is?
Do you not know what environment is? Like, this is so
Yeah, I do.
basic.
I
Of
do
course,
know what
environment
environment
refers to your upbringing.
Like what we've already said is that what environment can mean is like the conditions of the womb during neonatal development or epigenetics, right? Like those are technically environmental factors, but they wouldn't be environmental in the sense that you're describing of, like, once again, like super duper woke parents. So the reason why we're asking you to like specify specifically what environmental factors this study determines drives homosexuality is for that reason.
Well, I gave you the study, so if you're gonna like deny that environment refers to like your upbringing, that's just ridiculous. But I mean,
No. But it's what specifically is what's relevant.
Yeah, for the last time, my friend.
Yeah, it literally says non-social environmental influences, social environment, genetic social environment. That's what it
oh,
says.
so social environment too?
Well, it says genetic social environment and non-social environment. That's what it says, actually.
It also says social environment.
Nope.
Like, you just read social environment.
Yes, it says these include hormonal, genetic, social, environmental, and non-social environmental influences. It's saying genetic social environment.
Man, you guys are really an echo chamber that just try to cherry pick everything to try to disprove your guess. It's crazy.
No, hey dude, we're literally just trying to tell you that the way that you're using environment is different than the way that it's typically. It says, for instance, the trait that, to the extent of the trait that is not genetic, it is caused by the environment, not by free will. Is a trait that is caused by events occurring after birth, not by free will.
Yeah, I never said being gay is caused by like free will. I just said it also is influenced by your upbringing, like the way you were raised.
Yeah, but does it specifically list that the environmental differences, such as like having woke parents, makes you like more gay? Is that your argument? Because the notion
No.
here is that you're just more accepted, not that you are more likely to literally be gay.
No, I never said that we can scientifically prove having woke parents makes you gay, but we can scientifically prove that your upbringing environment, like through childhood, has an impact.
Wait, repeat what you just said.
Like, you can scientifically prove your childhood upbringing has an impact on your sexuality.
In what way is the question?
Well, I don't know, but
Like,
it
what about
has an
what about the
influence.
environment? And like, cause your claim is, oh, because it says environment is a part of this, that then means I can then say all aspects of environment, including, right, me having gay parents, for example. Me having gay parents is going to cause me to be gay. Do you have any study that demonstrates
I didn't
having
say
gay
it's gonna-
parents causes you to be gay, for example?
So I never said this.
Okay, wait, so to
Please.
clarify, you don't think that the basis that you were referring to in terms of environment had anything to do with people being raised to be gay or trans? Is that not what you brought up? Exactly?
No, I brought up that your environment plays a role.
Okay.
Depends
Alright,
on
is
the
there anything else you
environment.
want to talk about or add?
Yeah, like maybe E.G. and Carroll. I don't know. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, we can.
Wait, is that vegan teacher in the chat? Oh my god. That's crazy. Do you know that vegan teacher?
Mm-hmm.
Damn. Yeah, what do you think about vegans? Why are you guys not vegan?
Do you want to like answer my question? Are you vegan?
Yes, I'm vegan.
Cool for you. Can you answer the question now?
What was your question?
What were we just talking about? Were we just going to talk about E. Jean Carroll?
Yeah, E. Jean Carroll. Yeah, she's kind of a liar, don't you think?
No. Can you name one lie? Prove one lie she engaged in?
Yeah, she said that Trump like rapes her, right?
But I'm waiting for one lie you can prove that she lied about.
Well, I can't prove anything for a fact, but I just think it's like... No, but you can't prove anything
claims
for a
she's
fact.
a liar, but I can't prove it. I can't prove it actually, but she's a liar.
I can give you evidence.
I'm just gonna say it, okay? I promise you that.
Do you know what she said on the Anderson Cooper video?
Yes, I do know what she said.
Yeah,
What do you think she said?
She said most people think of rape as being sexy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I
don't
disagree.
know.
I don't think most people think that, but she's not saying herself. She's saying other people think that, which perpetuates rape culture.
I don't know. It kind of implied that she thought that, but
Wait, no, it does not imply that she thinks that. No,
I mean, it could. You don't know.
It's very dishonest that you try to portray that as saying that she was saying that she thinks that herself. No, not even close. If you actually watch it, the whole context, it tells you that she was talking about other people, not herself.
Yeah, she also said that she and Trump were hot for each other. She said that she wasn't a victim.
She explicitly said right before that it's not sexual. Didn't she?
Yeah, she said her rape was not sexual.
Yeah, it was not sexual.
Yeah. And she also said she wasn't a victim.
Wait, no, she said she doesn't want to consider herself a victim in her head because she wasn't thrown on the ground and ravished, right? But that doesn't mean that she isn't a victim. That's just the propaganda that she was talking about in society that gets her to believe that she's not a victim or to victim blame herself. That's what she was talking about. You're misunderstanding how she's using these terms. She's not claiming that she's not a victim. She's claiming that she didn't feel like it because of these understandings that she had prior about how quote-unquote rape is supposed to look.
Yeah, well, I think
Right,
you're
she said it
interpolating.
hurt.
You don't know for a fact that that's what she meant.
That's exactly what
So-
she meant. She described. If you actually watch the interview, she described exactly what she meant.
Well, you don't know for a fact that
I
that's
do
exactly
because
what
I
she-
watched the interview. Because I actually read into what she's speaking about. I do because I looked over the transcript. I do because I actually care about fundamentally understanding what she's saying rather than just trying to represent what she's saying for a political talking point.
So she also said that she
I
and Trump
described
were
to you
hot
all of
for-
these things because I've actually looked
Okay.
at it myself. You're only bringing these things up because you can try to make it seem like she's a liar or try to make it seem like she's crazy, which none of those things are true. You've been proven wrong. Trump has been held liable unanimously by a jury of 9 people. There's been an appeal. He fucking lost it. There was another one. He lost it. Okay?
And
He's
now they're
lost his
investigating
appeals.
her.
He's lost in the court, and you're fucking coping. Okay? You can't acknowledge it. You can't bring up a single thing
Wait,
that you
no,
think she lied
she's
about
not-
when
he
I can
lost
tell
in the
you
court.
things that Donald Trump explicitly lied about. Donald
Okay,
Trump
but-
committed perjury.
Okay, but E. Jean Carroll said she and Trump were hot for each other. She then said that her rape wasn't sexual. But whatever, forget about that. She also
when you
couldn't
say
remember.
that they were when you say that she said that they were hot for each other.
She said that.
Can
yeah.
you explain to me how consenting to prior actions then consents to all actions later on, or that how you think that there
No.
can't be a revoking of consent at any point in time?
No, I just think she was like contradicting herself in the interview, right?
That's not contradicting yourself. Revoking consent is not contradicting yourself, dumbass.
Well,
I hate
she also
people
said-
like you. Go fuck yourself. If you think revoking consent is contradicting yourself,
No, I
you
never
are
said
literally
that.
engaging in a rapist mentality right now. That's
Wait, I
fucking
never said that.
disgusting, actually. Think about what you just said. You just said it was contradicting
say?
herself for her to literally revoke consent. Seriously,
No.
think about what fucking disgusting shit just came out of your mouth. That's honestly gross as fuck.
Yeah. So, that's not what I said at all.
That is
but-
exactly what you just said. Then tell me what you said then. What'd you say?
Yeah, I said she was like acting kind of like a lunatic, contradicting herself in the interview in certain ways, and yeah.
What did I say that you said?
I said that like revoking consent
Was contradictory.
revoke
And
consent.
you were saying that. Do you want me to play it back?
Yeah, play it back.
What a dishonest piece of shit. You can't acknowledge it. You need me to go back and play. This is crazy, bro. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it because you're an
Also-
annoying piece of shit. But
Also,
because
she
I
waited
watched
until
the interview
Trump was
because I do,
president.
because I actually read into what she's speaking about. I do because I looked over the transcript. I do because I actually care about fundamentally understanding what she's saying rather than just trying to represent what she's saying for a political talking point.
So she also said that she
I
and Trump were
described to you
hot
all of
for-
these things because I've actually looked at it myself. You're only bringing these things up because you can try to make it seem like she's a liar or try to make
Yeah,
it
you're
seem
embarrassing.
like she's crazy, which none of those things are true.
How?
You've been proven wrong. Trump has been held liable unanimously by a jury of 9 people. There's been an appeal. He fucking lost it. There was another one. He lost it. Okay?
And
He's
now they're
lost his
investigating
appeals.
her.
He's lost in the court, and you're fucking coping. Okay? You can't acknowledge it. You can't bring up a single thing
Wait,
that you
no,
think she lied about when I
he
can
lost
tell
in the
you
court.
things that Donald Trump explicitly lied about. Donald
Okay,
Trump
but-
committed perjury.
Okay.
Well,
But E.G.
constantly
Carroll said she
interrupting
and
me.
Trump were hot for each other. She then said that her rape wasn't sexual. But whatever, forget about that. She also
when you
couldn't
say
remember.
that they were when you say that she said that they were hot for each other.
She said that.
Can
yeah.
you explain to me how consenting to prior actions then consents to all actions later on, or that how you think that there
No.
can't be a revoking of consent at any point in time?
No, I just think she was like contradicting herself in the interview, right?
That's not contradicting yourself. Revoking consent is not contradicting yourself, dumbass.
Well,
I hate
she also
people
said-
like you. Go fuck yourself. If you
Yeah. When
It's
did
true.
I ever say that revoking consent is doesn't matter? I
what
never
was
said that.
contradictory?
The fact that she was saying all these different things in the interview and she was acting like a lunatic.
What was contradictory? Be specific.
Oh yeah, the fact that she said her like rape wasn't sexual, and then she said she wasn't a victim, and then she said she and Trump were hot for each other, and then she said rape is sexy or whatever. And
Wait.
then-
So her claiming that they specifically they were interested in each other prior, that then means that she wasn't assaulted?
No.
How is that
She could still
contradictory?
be assaulted if they were.
How is that
interested
contradictory?
Prior. No. I think she could revoke consent, and that would mean she's still assaulted, right?
So let's clarify. They could have the hots for each other in the past, and then that goes away, and she revokes consent, and that's not contradictory, right?
No, that's not. She
So why
could
did you
revoke
bring that up
consent,
as
right?
contradictory?
Well, I just brought it up as like she was saying a lot of lunatic things, basically. that
So
were
what was lunatic
contradictory.
about literally saying that you revoked consent?
She never said she revoked consent.
She
by the
did.
way. So
You don't think in the Anderson Cooper interview she said
I
that
don't
she
think-
revoked consent?
I didn't
Are you
hear her say
serious?
that, but I didn't hear her say that, but maybe
Really,
she did.
you
I
should
don't
go
know.
back and watch the interview. She described it the whole fucking time. The fact that you didn't see that either means that you have terrible comprehension skills, or you purposefully didn't watch it and you're just trying to lie about it right now.
Well,
You
I
didn't
did
watch
watch
this
it.
shit. Bull fucking shit. If you watched it, you would have known that. What are you talking about?
Well, I did watch it, obviously.
Are
'cause I
you
know all the
are
facts.
you a Christian?
No.
No, you're not. Why is there a cross in your fucking profile picture?
I don't know. It's kind of like I just like the profile picture.
It's a cross in your profile picture. So you think Jesus Christ is not God?
No, I don't think he's God.
Okay. Are you religious at all?
I mean, I like the Bible.
But are you religious?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Okay, what religion?
I don't adhere to a religion. I just like sometimes like going to church or whatever. I don't know.
Okay, but like, do you believe in religion?
No, not really. I think it's kind of made up, but I think it also is pretty wise sometimes.
Okay. All right. Well, I was just gonna be like, yo, can you swear? But like, I mean, you have nothing to swear on, so I'm not Christian, but like, I was just gonna see, because like, if you swear in your Bible, maybe it would mean a little bit more to you. But I don't believe you. I think you're lying. You didn't watch it.
Wait, but on God, I did watch it. How would I know that she
What do
said
you mean
these
on
things?
God? I don't care that you said that. You're literally an atheist. Shut up, dude. I don't give a shit that you just said that.
Well, I mean, I did watch the interview, but on YouTube.
You did not just say. You just said on God, bro. I swear, bro, on God. Come on, bro. You're literally not Christian. What is that even supposed to mean?
Well, I'm just telling the truth. That's what it means.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I don't think you are.
Okay, but still,
You didn't
you
watch
don't
it, and I
think
think that you've demonstrated that on the stream.
You don't think it's relevant that she didn't remember like the year it happened?
1995 to 1996 is within 1 year.
Yeah, she didn't remember the year it happened, as I said.
I just told you she did. Within 1 year. 1985 to 1996 is within 1 year.
Wait, aren't those 2 different years?
1995 to 1990. For example, if we're talking about basketball, the 1995 to 1996 season, is that 1 or 2 years?
Oh, that's 2 years. 1 season.
It's 1 season, bro. It's 1 year. Dude, it's okay. You're not understanding. If I take 1 year is 12 months, right?
It's January to December.
Oh, okay, so
No, that's a calendar year. So
yeah.
So the definition of a year is just 365 days. Like that's what a year is, right? So like that's
the
why
fact that I had to tell him what a year is crazy.
And that's why if I were to ask you, well, how much time passed before the start of your freshman year of high school and the start of your sophomore year of high school, you'd say a year passed, even though that container of 365 days didn't start January 1st and end December 31st. Or for instance, if on every second month of April, right, I go out to California for a vacation, and then someone would ask me, when was the last time you were here? And I said, a year ago, right? Well, that's because a year is 365 days. Or take Christmas, okay? Right? Every year, your dad gets you a bottle of whiskey for Christmas, and then your new girlfriend asks you, well, when's the last time that your dad got you a bottle of whiskey? And then you say, well, a year ago, last Christmas. Well, that's because definition of a year is 365 days.
No,
actually, Dean, on New Year's, the next day, he would think it's actually like the right way to say this is that yes, last year, we kissed before, or like if you're talking to your significant other, we kissed before the New Year's thing. If you're talking to your significant other, right?
Right, and like,
you think that's reasonable to say that's your significant other,
or like look at your birthday, like today's
like,
my birthday. Somebody asked me, when was your last birthday? They'd say a year ago, right? Because a year is 365 days. What you're referring to would be a calendar year, and you're equivocating between the use of the phrase calendar year.
No, you can use a year to refer to a calendar year.
But you could also just use a year to refer to a block of 365 days, right?
Yeah, do you agree that it could just be a block of 365 days?
That's not typically what it's referred to, though.
I'm gonna kick this kid. Are you what? That is exactly how it's typically used. What are you talking about?
1995 is a year, right?
So there's definitely typical usage of the word. So I'd say that both of these two
are typical usages.
Quite typical. They're both typical. Like I just gave you a bunch of examples, right? Like listen, Henry, if I tell you the last time I was at the beach was a year ago, what would you interpret that statement to mean?
I would interpret it to mean like it was in 2025, right?
So if it's January of 2026, okay, and I tell you that the last time I was at the beach was a year ago, you'd argue that typically the usage of that word year could be inferencing to you, it could be inferring to you that maybe I could have been at the beach like a week ago in December of 2025. Like that's clearly not the case.
People do that, but you probably wouldn't.
It's like
so by the way, we could be referencing the same thing if you said a week ago and a year ago at the same time. Let's just clarify. That's what he's saying.
Right.
So tell me, what is last year? Tell me what. Hey. Tell me what does last year mean?
A year ago would be used interchangeably.
No, he's not just saying last year. He's saying a year ago.
Right.
Okay, but what does last year mean?
Well, that's a typical usage that would be indexed to like a calendar year.
Yeah.
Right?
So a year can refer to a calendar year.
Right.
Yes,
but
a year can refer to a calendar year, but can also refer to this.
Oh my God!
Right, like,
it's almost like there are multiple definitions.
We're just saying here that like like this word year is not a univocal term, and you could use it in like two typical senses of a calendar year and a container of 365 days. So when we tell you that she identified the year she was raped in, right? We're telling you that she identified a container of 365 days that she was raped in.
Okay, but there are also multiple definitions. So, but still, that doesn't mean you know for a fact she's telling the truth. Okay, like.
Well, now you're just shifting the goalpost because your contention was Eugene Carroll was a liar because she couldn't identify the year she was raped in.
No.
But now that we've described to you that she has, well, now you're just saying, although she could identify the year that she was raped, and I still believe she was a liar. Do you understand how that's shifting the goalpost of your argument?
Who can say where the road goes, where the day goes? This guy's got no argument. He's cooked.
Wait, do you think that E. Jean Carroll would have won the case if it was in Florida or something? Like, I think it was a biased jury.
What
Don't
is
you
this
think?
pivot?
Well,
Nice pivot.
Donald Trump's lawyers actually said otherwise. So I think it was juror number 4 was a big fan of Tim Pool, said that Tim Pool is his favorite political commentator and that he was a good centrist voice. Meanwhile, of course, Tim Pool is pretty far to the right. So then E. Jean Carroll's attorneys opted to get this juror ejected because of political bias. But then Donald Trump's more expensive attorneys were like, no, actually, no political bias is found in the jury. Please don't kick this juror off, Mr. Judge. And then the judge sided with Trump's attorneys. So we know that there's people in the jury who, according to Trump, weren't biased. And according to me and Parker, we're biased, but towards Trump.
They obviously weren't biased towards Trump because they convicted him. So obviously they weren't.
Well, that's obviously a terrible argument, because the goal of jury selection isn't to find a jury without a bias, but it's rather to find a jury that's willing to set their bias aside to just simply extrapolate the facts of the court case. You're essentially saying here, right, that, well, they're not biased towards Trump because they convicted him. You're essentially saying that if you have a bias towards Trump, i.e. you support Trump, then you necessarily have to deny that he's a rapist.
I think they definitely had a bias against Trump because they awarded her $80 million. It was insane. Think of all the other victims that have gotten basically way less or
Well, that's
nothing
actually
at all.
not true. They didn't award her $80 million for rape. You're wrong.
No, for defamation, right? Later.
Yeah, there you go. Defamation.
Yeah, don't you think that would have been biased, right?
Why would that be biased? He's a billionaire. She could go for more money because he has more money.
Because she first of all said she shouldn't be treated as a real victim in the Anderson Cooper video. Second of all,
you could miscontextualize her statements all that you want, but if you listen to the clip she's talking about, she doesn't like to call herself a real victim because it was 3 minutes and I tried to fight back, and there's other women who will live through SA every single day of their lives.
yeah, and those other women don't really get much money
This
from
is a
juries.
complex trauma response that we don't just see from E. Jean Carroll. We see it from a lot of people. Have you seen a recent trend towards calling survivors of SA survivors instead of victims? Well, it's because many victims of SA don't like to call themselves victims. They rather opt to call themselves survivors. So it's really strange of you to use a complex trauma response from a victim of rape against that victim of rape. Not to mention, if she made this story up, then why would she say something that could be misconstrued and taken out of context on public air? No, I think that was a moment of honesty and vulnerability about the experience she lived through. And if she was this bold-faced liar that could keep up the lie and the con for so long, I don't think she'd ever risk saying something that could be miscontextualized by rape apologists such as yourself, such as Trump, such as Donald Trump's legal defense, such as the entirety of the GOP.
Yeah, I just think she's a lunatic, honestly.
But you can't actually give any actual justification for that. So we can prove to you that Donald Trump
Well,
has
I did,
lied,
but
but
you
you
didn't
can't
listen,
prove
but-
that E. Jean Carroll has lied. You'll claim that she's crazy for no reason.
You did try to give justification for your claim that she's a lunatic. I was able just to, defeat all of your justification. And then inevitably, after I did defeat all of your justification,
Wait, no, you didn't.
just reduced yourself back down to your original claim.
No, you didn't, because I've given other justification. The way she behaved in that interview just signals she is a lunatic. And if you look at
I actually
the
just got
people who
done
watched the interview,
going over your description of what signal you think in that behavior what behavior you think in that interview signal that she's a lunatic, and I just responded to it all. And then you essentially conceded to my explanation because you didn't respond to my explanation. You just repeated your original claim that she's a lunatic.
well, you didn't refute. By the way, you didn't refute anything I said because she didn't remember the year she
Okay.
was raped, right? But
Well, you actually already conceded on that notion, because you conceded that one of the two main typical usages, I guess usages is a word if it's not, kill me, whatever.
You say uses.
uses. There we go. That one of the main two typical uses of the word year is a container of 365 days, and she did identify a container of 365 days that she was raped in.
Okay. Well, why did she take like I think 25 years after he ran for president, became president, to come forward? Just wondering.
Yeah. So I just want to like clarify here. You do concede on like the year argument, right?
Well, no, because I was using a year as in a calendar year.
So you don't concede on the year argument.
Well, I agree it was within a container.
Just to clarify, do you affirm that one of the main two uses of the word year would be in reference to a container of 365 days? A great example of this being, if it's January of 2026 and I tell you the last time I was at the beach was a year ago, well, I'm saying that the last time I was at a beach was approximately 365 days ago. I'm not saying that the last time I was at the beach was in 2025, right? Or else saying that you were at a place a year ago could be used identically. Saying that you were at a place like a day ago, right? Imagine it's the first day of 2026 and you were at the beach on December 25th.
Well, it
of
wasn't a day ago.
2025.
It was definitely not within a day, period. It was within like over 300 days, right? So I was using years and calendar year, so I wasn't.
Well, as long as it's under 365 days, then she did identify a year that she was raped in per the typical usage of the word year.
Not typical, just one of the usages, but okay.
No, typical. That I mean, I think that you'd just be extraordinarily dumb to say that that's not a typical usage, right? Would you, like, for instance, if the last time I was at a beach was 365 days ago, would it be typical, given the English language, for me to say that the last time I was at the beach was a year ago?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so then you do concede that a very typical usage of the word year is to refer to a container of 365 days, right? Like that's a concession that you're willing to grant, because just less than 30 seconds ago, you argued that it wasn't typical. But now I just gave you an example of how it is typical. So could you please concede?
No. Why would I be conceding? I've never disagreed with that. That it's
No, you did. No, you did.
usage.
You just said, well, it's a usage, but it's not a typical usage. Well, we just demonstrated
No.
that it is a typical usage.
What I meant is it isn't like more commonly used than calendar year, right? So.
What? So I just want to clarify. You've never heard somebody say that the last time they did this thing, participated in an action, or visited a location was a year ago, referring to 365 days? Like I think that's real. You just okay, but you just don't hear that in your day-to-day life. That's the way that we use the word all the time, man. Like unironically, right? Like we probably use the word year to refer to a container of 365 days just as frequently, if not more frequently, right, than referring to a calendar year. But like, regardless of the frequency, as long as you could agree that that's the typical usage of the word, okay, well then given the typical usage of the word, we could identify a year that she was raped in. And you're just being extraordinarily bad faith because your ego's too big to just understand that you're wrong here and to concede.
Well, that's one of the typical usages, right?
Okay. So then earlier when you said it wasn't, you were wrong.
If I said that, then I must have misspoke. But
Perfect. So now, given one of the typical uses of the word year, you agree that E. Jean Carroll was able to identify a year that she was raped in, correct?
Yeah, but not the calendar year.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. So then, all that I'd say here is it seems completely arbitrary and meaningless to expect a victim of rape to be able to identify the calendar year she was raped in, right? And given that she could identify a year she was raped in, there's going to be no meaningful distinction.
Well, I think
what's the meaningful distinction?
The meaningful distinction is that she didn't remember like the exact month or anything, right?
Wait, well, we're not talking about a month. We're talking about a year. You said that she couldn't remember the year. So what's the meaningful distinction between E. Jean Carroll, okay, remembering the year, i.e. a container of 365 days, or remembering the calendar year, i.e. a specific container of 365 days that starts on January 1st? What's the meaningful distinction between those two things?
I think I wouldn't say there's like a meaningful distinction. I just say there's a distinction.
Oh, okay. So if there's no meaningful distinction, well, then it seems like the necessary conditions of your argument have been fulfilled, given that she could identify a container of 365 days she was raped in. Therefore, you concede the position that E. Jean Carroll was a liar because she couldn't identify the year. Because all meaningful criteria of your argument have been met.
I didn't say she was a liar because she couldn't identify the year. I said she's a lunatic because she waited like 25 years until Trump ran for president solely
Oh, okay. So then
to
what
go
was the
after him.
relevance of you bringing up the claim that she couldn't remember the year? What was the relevance of that claim, Henry?
Yeah, it helps my point because it's true. She couldn't remember the calendar year.
What specific point does it help?
The fact that she's like took so long, she like kind of lost her memory of the situation.
Well, that's obviously right. That's not going to be like a main point. So would you say it helps the point that she was a liar?
No, I don't think it helps the point that she was a liar. I never said she was.
So then what's the point that it helps?
Oof.
What like so like the claim that she couldn't remember the year, that's going to serve as like a data point of evidence for like some like claim. So for what claim does that serve as a data point of evidence for?
The point of evidence is that she didn't have a very good memory of the time, right?
Oh, okay. All right. So then you concede that you concede that data point of evidence, given that there's no meaningful distinction between the ability to identify a container of 365 days and the ability to identify the calendar year, right? Because you already acknowledge that there's no meaningful distinction. So all meaningful criteria have been met.
Well, why doesn't she remember the month? You know, I mean.
Okay. So well, before you shift the goalpost, do you concede that point?
You're such a biased person, I swear.
Henry, I think that you're just crashing out because you acknowledge that there's no meaningful distinction here, right? So all meaningful criteria, right, of your position have been met here, given her ability to identify a container of 365 days she was raped in, right? Like, I understand that you would just want to, Dean, you're biased. Listen, man, I know that I'm frying your shit. All right, but let's try not to get emotional, buddy. Just breathe.
It doesn't fry my point. Like, sure, yeah, she remembered the 365-day period.
Well, it does fry your point because you explicitly said that there's no meaningful distinction between an ability to identify the container of 365 days and an ability to identify a calendar year. Right?
Okay.
You said that there's no meaningful distinction between those two things. So given that she was able to do one of those two things, right, it satisfied the conditions for your argument of her not having a hazy memory. It's just simply the adjacent claim to your original point.
Yeah, I also think you should be able to remember more than just the year, right?
Okay, so now this is where you're going to shift the goalpost. So I'll just go to throw the point back to Parker, since like seemingly you're conceding by like frivolous attempts to shift the goalpost. That's fine.
So, like, I don't understand. How do you know she's telling the truth? Like, you guys are just so biased. You're just believing her because you hate Trump. That's my point, obviously.
No, we're believing her
But you're
because the
denying that.
evidence supports what she's saying, right? You believe Trump just because it's Trump. Literally, you don't believe her just because it's against Trump.
Because I think she has motivation to kind of lie, basically.
But you haven't been able to actually demonstrate that. And
Well, I don't
having
think anyone
motivation to
knows.
lie does not mean she has lied. You went from literally arguing she is a liar to arguing she has the motivation to lie. Does Trump not have the motivation to lie? Yeah? Yeah?
See, I never said she was.
Does Trump have the
intentionally-
motivation to lie?
Sure, not as much as her.
Oh, okay. Okay. Really?
Yeah.
Really? So you don't think that he has more of a motivation to lie when he's running for president of the United States?
He was already president when she came forth, right?
But he's
So,
running again.
So what? He was already president when.
So what? That's a motivation to lie. Also,
Sure.
right? Like, I just want to clarify: all rapists, regardless of context, are going to have a motivation
Exactly.
to lie about not raping someone.
Well, he said he never knew her, so I don't know.
But that was proven
And then
wrong.
that
There's
was
a
proven
picture of
wrong.
them shown together.
Yeah.
He said that he wouldn't have sexually abused her because she's quote unquote not his type, but then in a deposition mistook her with his ex-wife, indicating he would have sexually abused her either way.
Yeah, well,
So
I
we proved
really
he lied. I just gave you evidence he lied, and you're just going to completely ignore that. But if that same sort of evidence were true to demonstrate that E. Jean Carroll lied, you'd be using that as your main argument as to why this didn't happen.
Well, I don't know what happened, man. I mean, like, I
Bull
don't
fucking
know.
shit. You're just such a TDS cult member. Like literally,
wait, but how
Trump
do you know what
devotion
happens?
syndrome. You fucking
How do
love
you
him
know?
so much. There's nothing that we could point to as evidence that you would then accept.
Why
Dean,
are you
by the way,
acting
if you want to hop on live, by the way, make sure to do so if you want to.
So why do you think that Trump is a bad person, but you're not?
I'm not a rapist.
Wait, but
I didn't try to
pay-
undermine our democracy. I didn't try to. I didn't call for the termination of our constitution. I didn't brag about walking into the changing rooms of naked women while they're changing without their consent. Where two 18-year-olds came out and said there were 4 girls as young as 15 years old in these changing rooms. I didn't go up to a 10-year-old girl and say I'd be dating her in 10 years.
Okay, but you pay for the rape and murder of animals.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ, dude! The comparison is nuts, dude. Dean.
Wait, how is
you
it?
hear this,
we
bro?
are animals. How is it a crazy comparison?
Bro,
you're just species.
Donald Trump is not a vegan. Do you agree? He
just
just tried to make fun of Talarico for not being vegan. I mean, for being vegan. Which, by the way, Talarico's not even vegan.
Who is
Right.
what?
So seemingly under your view, not only does Donald Trump pay for the rape and murder of animals, but he also rapes women himself.
Yeah,
Well,
and you're defending that right
I don't
now.
know if that's true though.
So by the way, he's literally going to sit there and say that he doesn't believe E. Jean Carroll no matter what, and then at the same time sit
No.
there and try to like portray that we're horrible people. Like that's so
I don't believe her
embarrassing.
because she took like 25 years to come forward when she had and she made so much money.
Wait,
from
do
this.
you value human beings more than you do non-human animals?
I value sentient beings. I'm not a species.
Wait, so you value all sentient beings equally?
No.
Okay, so you value humans more than non-human animals.
Well, I would value some animals more than humans. More than some humans, right?
Okay, be specific. Which ones are you referencing?
Like, for example, would I rather have like a 97-year-old person in a coma die or a beautiful like orangutan die that can suffer? I don't know. Right?
You'd rather a person die in that scenario?
A 97-year-old.
I thought you were going to
person
bring
in a
up like
coma.
criminals, not like grandparents. Like Jesus Christ!
But like a
You'd
97-year-old
rather
person
someone in a coma die than like literally an orangutan?
because they can't suffer.
Jesus.
That's
hey,
a
listen,
crazy
Parker.
thing, bro.
Well, you're just speciest, obviously.
Of course I am.
And yeah,
Of
that's
course
gonna
I
be-
am. Like, wait, are you not? Like, do you think a pig is just as valuable as a baby?
Well, I think we have the natural instinct to protect a baby, but I don't see like a
But do
moral.
you think that a pig is just as? Would you rather save 2 pigs or 1 baby?
Well, my instinct would make me want to save the baby, but if you were
Okay,
rational,
okay, you'd rather
if you were
save the
rational,
baby,
you'd save
right?
No, if you were rational, you'd probably want to save the pigs. Probably, I don't know.
Wait, if you're rational, you wouldn't save the pigs. You said.
No, you would save the pigs, but if you're going on your instinct,
You're saying
you'd
you're
save the baby.
irrational for saving the baby?
Yeah,
Your
because
position is
the
that it's
pigs would
irrational to
suffer
save a
more.
newborn baby from burning alive over 2 pigs?
Hey, you could have been born as a pig, so I don't know why. You really could.
Okay,
so why are you
okay, bro.
discriminating?
Okay, you could have been born as a pig, bro. Okay, I'm still gonna save the newborn baby over the
That's
the
'cause of
2
your
pigs, and I
instincts.
think that's the rational decision: is to save the newborn baby over the 2 pigs.
So what gives a human being moral
Come
value?
on,
then?
bro. You're being ridiculous. All of us. You can be vegan and still be speciest. Okay. You absolutely
No.
should be speciest. It is literally crazy to not be speciest. Like actually nuts. Like and
Would you
I'll
rather-
keep writing this down. Would you rather save 2 shrimp or 1 newborn baby?
Oh, a newborn baby.
Okay, what about 10 shrimp or 1 newborn baby?
The newborn baby, because
Okay.
that
Wait, is it
the
rational for you to
sentience
do that?
outweighs- Yeah, because the baby's sentience just outweighs, and the
The baby's
relationships
sentience
that baby
outweighs.
has.
Oh, so then you'd rather save 1 pig over 2 newborn babies because a pig has more sentience under your view than a
No.
newborn?
I don't think there's any objective like line where it's subjective. This.
Yeah, of course,
these,
and I'm asking you based upon your
comparisons.
subjective position. Wait, if it's subjective, by the way, you understand that's specious, right? Like,
no,
you're-
no.
like when
because-
you're saying it's subjective there, you were literally just arguing that, like, yes, it is, speciesism is justified,
No,
just to a
because
certain
it
extent.
depends. It depends on the sentience of the animal.
Oh, okay, and that's, okay, so are you specious, though, at all?
I mean, my instincts probably are. Yeah.
Would you
but
rather,
I
okay,
don't
so
think-
how about this? Would you rather save a more sentient pig or a less sentient baby?
I mean, probably the more sentient pig, right? But I think that would hurt the parents of the baby, right?
Dude, that's like crazy talk. You understand that like adult pigs are like more sentient than like 3-year-olds.
Yeah, a pig is a more sentient than a 3-year-old.
Wait, so by the way, would it be justified just to slaughter all babies? Because inevitably speaking, it's likely that they're going to eat some bacon in the future, so inevitably we'll save more animals.
No, because then
So
you're like
now,
an acceleration.
now he's not pro-life anymore. Now abortion's actually the right thing to do. Actually, everybody, you're preventing animals from being killed in the future.
You guys are slaughtering all babies, right?
Most people do eat animals, so you're preventing these pigs from dying in the future. Actually, so if you'd rather save the pig over the newborn, I think you then think abortion's justified. Woo!
But you guys are like killing babies, though, right? So
What?
why are you? You guys are killing babies.
It's not babies.
Wait,
So
wait, wait.
They're not.
Your
They're
view
not
is
people until sentience.
Wait. Your
Exactly.
view is pro abortion because you believe that sentience is what's of moral worth, and clearly fetuses don't have that until.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I would be, but I'm pointing out your contradiction that you would.
Wait, so you're
value, like,
pro-choice, but then you don't vote for pro-choice legislation when we're talking about Congress and the government?
Well, I don't believe Roe v. Wade is correct.
Even though you want federally protected access to abortion?
I don't think it should be federal. It should be up to the states.
You think human rights should be up to the states?
How is it a human right to have
You
an
don't think
viability?
the right to bodily autonomy is a human right?
Yeah, and that one's really easy to make. We'd argue that it's a human rights violation to infringe on somebody's bodily autonomy unless you have sufficiently good reason to do so. Examples of infringing on somebody's bodily autonomy without sufficiently good reason to do so could look like kidnapping or slavery. Now, if you accept that therefore it's a human rights violation to infringe on somebody's bodily autonomy without sufficiently good reason to do so, and you accept that there's not sufficiently good reason to do so in the context of abortion, which would be trivially true given your pro-choice perspective, then you would accept that it's a human rights violation to deny a woman's access to abortion. And given that you accept that's a human rights violation, if you accept that human rights should be protected at the federal level, then you think that access to abortion should be protected at the federal level.
I don't think it is proportional force for a 19-week-old fetus to be killed because the mother just wants to have an elective abortion. That's not proportional.
But it's not sentient.
Well, actually, it's closer to sentience, and it's not sentient
Don't you
at
care
20
about the
weeks
more
either.
sentient being?
Yeah, the more sentient being, but I don't think she has justification to have an elective abortion at that time.
Okay. So by the way, like, there's no justification for elective abortion, but that would save animal lives.
No, I think you could have an elective
But like,
abortion.
you're
in,
not
like, 2
considering the amount
weeks.
of animal lives that would be saved, Henry.
That's besides
The average
point.
person eats animals, right? So you're
Well, people
gonna
are born
save you're gonna
vegan.
save animal lives by advocating for all these
No,
abortions.
no, because people are born vegan. Everyone's
You're
born
not
vegan.
you're not born with a philosophical view.
But you're born vegan.
You're
That's
not
true.
born with a philosophical view. That just makes no sense. Vegan is a philosophical view.
do
You're
you know
not
what
born with a
veganism is?
philosophical view. Like,
You're born not
or vegan
exploiting animals.
or not vegan, right? You're just born, right? You don't have an ideology yet. Like, did you know this? Newborns don't have philosophical views. Crazy thing, right?
Yeah, they don't exploit animals though.
Wait, I'm sorry. Like, they could be eating meat or animals or things like that.
No,
right?
not at like 6 months. They're not
Drinking
eating meat.
milk. You don't think they'll drink milk?
They're drinking their mother's milk. That's fine.
Okay. Okay, but what about if they get formula?
Depends what the formula is made of. There's vegan formula, so.
If they don't get vegan formula?
Well, they don't have moral culpability. They don't make.
Of
their
course, they don't have
decisions.
moral culpability. Okay, but
That would
then
be on the parents.
But I just don't understand how you're saying that they are vegan.
I don't understand how
when
you
they
can
just don't have
defend
a
factory
position.
farming. How can you defend factory farming?
I don't.
Seriously. So then stop eating meat then.
What? I don't see the argument, right? That specifically that would be the only way of getting meat, and also like I don't think that my position actually is actually that like I'm plant-based. Like at least I think it's preferable, morally speaking. I just happen to eat meat, and I think that's wrong.
Okay, but 99% of all meat in the grocery store is made in factory farms, right? You realize that?
I don't know if I would say 99%, but you
No,
can
that's
get
it's a fact.
you can get it from
It's a
areas in
fact.
which would not be under that notion.
No, but in the grocery
again,
store.
Henry, like I just told you, I consider it wrong, but it would just be something I do as a part of my diet still.
Yeah, so you're doing something wrong, basically.
Yes.
Yeah. So you're admitting you're not a good person, obviously.
I don't think that makes me not a good person. I just think I'm
Yes?
doing
Wait,
something wrong.
You don't think if you knowingly do something wrong, that makes you can still be a good person? If
Yeah, I think you
knowingly
can
do
still be a
something
good person even though you knowingly did something wrong. Yeah.
Well, so if I knowingly like murdered someone, would I still be a good person?
I don't think I compare that to murder.
But you're paying for the cruelty and
Wait, do you
murder
think you
of
can
animals.
purposefully do something wrong and still be a good person? Have you ever purposefully done something wrong?
Well, there are levels to it, though.
Okay, have you ever purposefully done something wrong?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so are you still a good person?
Yeah, because like I try to
No?
do good. No, yeah, I said yeah, I am a good person because I
Okay,
try to
okay.
do good.
All right, well.
But
You
like
can
I don't
say that, like,
understand.
and I say that too, like, but like it's really really difficult to get off the diet and to move to something else. In situations I do specifically try to do plant-based alternatives and hybrid when I can.
Okay, but I don't understand
and
why
I
you
can
think
fit it
Trump
in.
is the biggest issue right now when there is literally like an animal
Oh, go
mass
fuck yourself.
slaughtering.
I think Trump is a bigger problem.
How?
Seriously, because I care way more about humans than I do about non-human animals. It's
What
not even
rights
close.
what rights has Trump taken away from you or your loved ones?
You do not understand the overturning of Roe versus Wade. Do you not understand he's undermining
happened
our
under
democracy,
Biden.
our rule of law,
That
our
hap-
constitution. He's calling for the deaths of some Democrats. He's literally held
Wait.
civilly liable of sexually abusing women. He's also again a minor has literally what's it called? Or actually, let me
I asked-
clarify this.
I asked what has he
a
done to
victim
you?
who got or a survivor got a settlement with the Epstein estate. Specifically accused Donald Trump. Right? They accused Epstein of trafficking her to Trump. Right? So
Okay.
that's another thing. He also protect PDFs in the Epstein files. I think I care a lot more about holding someone accountable for protecting PDFs in the Epstein files than just that. And also, like, I'm sorry, like, you understand both sides are not vegan, right? Like, that's not relevant to politics. So why are you focusing on politics instead of specifically just going on live stream and debating veganism?
Because I think politics matters as well, but
Okay, there you go. Thanks for the concession.
no, but I don't think Trump has done. First of all, you didn't answer my question because Roe v. Wade happened under Biden.
Dean, did you
Trump
want to go
was
live,
not.
by the way? I don't want to hold you back from going live.
Oh, you're good. Yeah, I'm gonna hop on here in the next like few minutes. I'm just actually just right now nearing getting stuff set up. But I was actually thinking, if you wanted to end the stream, then quickly call me, just so we could like in like a minute or less just go over a handful
Oh
of
yeah,
things.
that makes more sense. I got you.
Are you
Here,
guys
let me,
like
let me
gay
thank some people,
besties?
and then I'll do that real quick. Hey Henry.
What, little bro?
I have a few things to say real quick. Can you real quick? I just have one thing for you to do real quick. Can you thank Neo for the $20?
Hell no.
Why not?
Because I'm not thanking someone for donating money to you. Like,
Why
sorry.
not? Why not?
Because I don't want to.
Can you thank Taffy for the $5? Or Adam for the $20? Or Megan for the $20? Or Felipe, thank
you
you for the
stop-
$50. Thank you very much. Or
Could you stop
Olivia with
exploiting
the
animals?
$70. Can we thank Olivia for the $70 for her 29th birthday? Can you say happy birthday, Olivia?
Can you stop
Can
exploiting
you say
animals?
happy birthday to Olivia?
No.
What? Why not? It's her birthday.
Because I don't know Olivia.
But say happy birthday.
No.
It's her 29th birthday. Can
What
we
if-
give some
what
happy
if
birthdays
Olivia-
for Olivia in the comment section right now?
What if
Happy
Olivia's
birthdays
a
for Olivia.
rapist?
This guest is a real weirdo for not saying happy birthday. Jeez, that's crazy.
What if she's
bro.
a rapist?
What the fucking type of bull? I'm kicking you from the stream. Go fuck yourself. What an idiot. What? Like, I'm literally messing with him, but like, dude, Jesus Christ, dude. Like, what type of crazy bullshit is that? That's insane. Dila, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you, Tyler. Thank you for the $5. Keone, thank you so much for the $10. Lord Toyoshi, thank you so much for the $10. Vicky, thank you for the $3. Natalie, thank you for the $5. Rodney, thank you so much for the $10. Vicky, thank you for the $3. Lord Toyoshi, thank you for the $5. Mr. Flinch with the $5. Thank you, Trevor with the $5. Vicky, thank you for the $7. Thank you. Kerosene, thank you so much for the $7. Ash Lauren, thank you so much for really appreciate. Thank you for the $5. Vicky, thank you for the $3. Trevor, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you. Hugo, thank you so much for the $5. Helen Health, thank you so much for again for the $20. Lord Tomoyoshi, thank you for the $5. Phoenix with the $5. JB, thank you so much for the $10. Thank you very much. Dila with the $10. Hugo, thank you for the $2. Jiu-Jitsu, thank you so much. I really appreciate the $5. Thank you. Neo again with the $20. Thank you very much. Hugo, thank you so much for the $5. Anthony, thank you for the $10. Anthony again with the $10. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, he's absolutely crazy. Mr. Flinch, thank you so much for the $5 as well. Adam, thank you so much for the $20 again. Thank you very much. Neo again with the 20. Gay Uncles, thank you for the $10. Vicky, thank you for the $7. Taffy, thank you for the $5. And Vicky, thank you for the $2, as well as Riot. Thank you so much for the $5. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much. I would consider. I would, of course. Nina as well. Thank you for the $5. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Maddie, thank you so much for the $2 as well. Thank you. And I'm actually, hold up. I think I am fully caught up except for, thank you. Sonny, thank you for the $5. Joe, thank you for the $6. Lindsay, thank you for the $10. And Ari, thank you for the $5. Thank you. I think I am fully caught up.
I'll probably only be doing a 3-hour live today, by the way, everyone. Parker, yeah, I just want to go over like 2 things super quickly.
All right, got you. We'll go do that real quick. I'll call you right now.
And then for everybody watching, guys, I'll be starting my stream like legit like 60 seconds after Parker ends his. So I'll be on super duper soon.
All right, I'll see y'all in a second. Everyone, go to Dean's Live. I'm posting my videos as well. I love y'all, everyone.